Good morning, good morning. Got to put my mic on. Behind the scenes, people. Good morning, everyone. If you're new here, I'm Brian Craig. Make sure you subscribe. And everybody watching, like this video. That thumbs up like helps a lot. And share the video on all of your social media. Oh, man. A lot going on today, huh? A lot going on today. Long weekend, which was nice. I don't get many 3-day weekends.
Diabetes is preventable, and one of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Soul Authority at
St. Augustine, Florida. Welcome, welcome.
7060 or online at thesoulauthority.com.
Welcome, welcome.
That's TCH.
Here we go.
Authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida. From Palm Beach to Coral Gables. Call toll free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. Call the show toll free. Dial 1-888-COCAINE-1. That's 1-888-COCAINE-1.
No, this is not new. I just don't wear too much. It's a swatch, not new. Hey guys, good morning, good morning. Yes, yes. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. We are back here live today. That's right, it's Monday, April 12th, 2021. We are here live, and we were off on Friday because of my TV interview on C-SPAN is why we took Friday off, by the way, if you're wondering. But we are back live today, and man, is there a lot going on. You know, I just saw this story in Politico. President Trump had this just epic event at Mar-A-Lago over the weekend, this big GOP fundraiser, and he's calling out Mitch McConnell, he's calling out Fauci, he's calling out, he said we're going to take back the House, we're going to take back the Senate, and in the midterms, and then in 2024 we're taking back the White House, and he really had some choice words, you know. And some people I heard say, some of these pundits over the weekend, they say, why does he stay at Mar-A-Lago? Why isn't he going places and campaigning? Listen, the Republican Party's base of operation right now is right up the street from this radio studio at Mar-A-Lago. Don't they get it? President Trump is holding court. They have to come. Listen, we've had a lot of ex-presidents in our lifetime, right? When have you ever heard of a former president having sitting members of Congress, both houses, and governors and everyone else, going to their residence where they are after they've left office? Usually when a president leaves office, especially one term, that's it. They get some fake corporate jobs and some book deals and all this stuff and rack in a bunch of money, but Trump's already got all that money. He doesn't have to do all that stuff. This is historic what happened at Mar-A-Lago over the weekend. I'm not saying an ex-president has never done a fundraiser, but this was beyond a fundraiser. And this has never happened before. It's historic. In modern politics, maybe this happened before there was TV, back in the days of the telegraph or something, but there has never been a former president that wielded so much power. And he's holding court at Mar-A-Lago like he did at Trump. Remember at Trump Tower when President Trump was president-elect and everyone had to go through the lobby to get in the elevator and go up there? He's holding court at Mar-A-Lago, and I think it's awesome. The center of the Republican Party right here at Mar-A-Lago. And I just saw on left-wing Politico, they got this headline. I've not read the story yet. I just saw the headline just a moment ago. Republicans not pleased with Trump's fiery Mar-a-Lago speech. Republicans are not pleased. I'm pleased. I'm Republican. You guys out there listening to me that are Republicans, aren't you pleased? When they say Republicans aren't, I've not read this story. I'm going to read it now with you, live on the air. We'll react to it together. But when they say Republicans, what they mean are these Liz Cheney Republican establishment types. By the way, I saw that interview with Liz Cheney. I swear, she talks like her father, she sounds like her father, and she has the same mannerisms as Dick Cheney. Very strange, very strange. But anyway, let me read through this story in Politico. Republicans not pleased with Trump's fiery Mar-A-Lago speech. That's the headline. I'm looking at it right now. We need unity, says Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson. Yeah, that's right. We do need unity behind Trump. And what are we supposed to have unity behind? Liz Cheney? Are you kidding me? Biden? Who do they want us to have unity behind? Several Republican leaders on Sunday expressed concern at incendiary comments made by former President Donald Trump during a speech Saturday night at a Republican National Committee donor retreat. Let me tell you this. If you're a Republican who holds office and you're not on the Trump train, you are not a Republican leader. You're a swamp creature, rhino Republican establishment creep. You are not a leader. They can call them the leaders all they want. This is Asa Hutchinson. I think Asa Hutchinson might be working for Trump because he's out there talking, saying such weird things. Is he trying to get Sarah Huckabee firmed up in her election? Anything that's divisive is a concern and is not helpful for us fighting the battles in Washington and at the state level, Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson said on CNN's State of the Union. In some ways, it's not a big deal, what he said. But at the same time, whenever it draws attention, we don't need that. We need unity. Yeah, right. Yeah. We do have unity behind Trump. That's what drives them nuts. This is, again, left-wing Politico. The former president went off script in a roughly 50-minute keynote speech at his Mar-A-Lago resort in South Florida, ripping into Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, calling Mitch McConnell a dumb son of a bee. Ooh, I like that. Trump also took aim at former Vice President Mike Pence, saying he was disappointed in him. Well, I guess this fake news that said that Pence is going to be Trump's running mate in 2024. I guess that's confirmation that that the band has broken up for good. Trump's let's see here. Oh, as well as Dr. Anthony Fauci, who Trump said was, quote, full of crap, unquote. Yes. I love Trump's use of language. He just gets right to the point. Trump's verbal attacks come as the former president. They love to say former president in Politico, don't they? They say it so much. They get all excited, former president. Yeah. Then why is the only article, if he's so unimportant and Republicans are so upset, why is the only article anyone's reading in Politico right now is the one about Trump? Why is that? Trump's verbal attacks come as the former president has reemerged into the world of GOP politics in recent days, ramping up fundraising efforts and shelling out endorsements for the 2022 midterm elections. Here's the thing. Nancy Pelosi, remember, now, when she first became Speaker, the reason Pelosi became Speaker is because she was like the number one fundraiser in the House. Whoever controls the fundraising controls the party. And Trump has said, don't donate to these Republicans. Go to my website and donate to my PAC. So he's got the incredible support of the voters, which really ticks off these Republican establishment people. They hate us. Okay, they hate us. And he's getting control of the party money. They hate that too. They really hate that too. Several GOP leaders push back on Trump's fiery rhetoric, deeming it not helpful in uniting the Republican Party before the 2022 elections. See, this is the thing with the Republican establishment. I've talked about this many, many times. The Republican establishment, they don't care about winning. They care about controlling the party. They don't care who's in the White House. They don't care what party controls either house, as long as they want to hold office, these so-called leaders. But they're fine with being the minority party so long as they control the party. When asked by NBC's Chuck Todd whether Trump's voice is helpful to the Republican Party. Asa Hutchinson, the Arkansas governor. Does Asa Hutchinson go on conservative media? What's he hanging out with? CNN and Chuck Todd and all these liberal jerks. He said, well, I don't think his most recent comments about Senator McConnell were helpful if they were reported accurately. Hell yeah, they were helpful. So to me, you've got to engage in the fight that we have in 2022, Hutchinson continued. Right now, we've got some important fights in Washington about big government solutions to every problem that we have, blah, blah, blah. Boring. And the Republican voice is important. Representative Liz Cheney, an outspoken critic of the former president, told Face the Nation host Margaret Brennan on CBS that Trump in his Mar-a-Lago speech used the same language that he knows provoked violence on January 6th. Okay. Liz Cheney, she continues to take this moral high road. Let me tell you this. Her father was involved in a lie. I didn't know it was a lie. I voted for Dick Cheney and George Bush twice. I thought they were good guys. I didn't realize what lowlifes they were. They've shown themselves in the last couple of years with their outspoken criticism of President Trump. But their lies about weapons of mass destruction are responsible for the entire Middle East being chaotic today. We are involved. Think about this. We are approaching the 20th anniversary of the September 11th terrorist attacks. And there are men and women, because, Biden's amping things up again. Trump was ending the wars, but Biden's amping things up again. There are many men and women, not just new recruits either. There are men and women that will be in combat situations this year and next year that were born after 9/11. Good job, Dick Cheney. Every time you see a wounded warrior commercial on TV and you see a guy who's got this young pretty wife and these young kids and his body is burned from head to toe and he can't talk and he can't walk, that's Dick Cheney, right? And Liz Cheney here, who's always on television taking this moral high ground, whose only where she is because her daddy was vice president and part of the establishment. How dare she? And think about how many people around the world, because this was not just in the Middle East, but this was the coalition forces. How many hundreds of thousands have died in the Middle East? Maybe in the millions, I don't know, because of Dick Cheney. And Liz Cheney dares to go on television as often as she can and question the morality of President Trump with what her father did. Liz Cheney, she went on, as a party, we need to be focused on the future. Yeah, Trump is the future, And also Governor Ron DeSantis, who was playing golf with President Trump. We are focused on the future. You're the past, Dick Cheney's daughter. We need to be focused on embracing the Constitution, not embracing insurrection. I think it's very important for people to realize that a fundamental part of the Constitution and of who we are as Americans is the rule of law. Oh, my goodness. Senator John Thune, Republican, said on Fox News Sunday, that's Chris Wallace, talking about Trump's rhetoric, some of the things flying back and forth. Republicans, including Trump and McConnell, should be united in working to defeat Democrats. Well, that's what we are doing. Liz Cheney joined hands with the Democrats and voted to impeach President Trump after he left office. How's that? That's uniting with the Democrats. That's not Republican unification. Well, I think it was historic. I think it was spectacular. I'm very happy. I'm proud of the president. He did a great job. And I really like seeing Governor Ron DeSantis out there golfing with Trump, too. All right, listen, we're going to take our first break of the week. Since we were not here on Fridays, we'll keep it open phones light. You can bring up other things other than what I bring up, but as long as it's relevant to the conversation. Of course, after the break, I'll start to get into the violence in Minneapolis last night and a lot more. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. We'll be back with your calls and some more subjects right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, my name.
Welcome. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. It's a commercial break. And click the notification bell. And everybody in there that's already subscribed, make sure you are subscribed. You have the notification bell clicked. And give me a thumbs up. That helps in recommendations on the YouTube algorithm so more people can find this show.
In 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, from regular asphalt shingles, clay or concrete tiles, standing metal seam, wood shakes, and slate tile systems. Hurricane season is right around the corner. This gives us only a short period of time to make sure your roof and home is ready for the 2021 hurricane season. So don't delay and call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Our website is www.laportacontracting.com, where you will find our latest video and live testimonials from a few of our past clients. Our number again is 954-604-4602.
Hey guys, Brian Craig here. Here on the Steve Kane Show, we love hearing from our listeners talk about their great experiences with our sponsors. Here's Rebecca talking about the MyPillow. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name?
Rebecca. Good morning. I just wanted to know, Steve and Brian, that I've been listening to you. I'm 57 years old. I've been listening to you since I'm 21.
Wow.
So you know, and this is my first time calling. I ordered MyPillow, and let me tell you, I thought it was just a, marketing tool saying that you sleep better at night. Oh my God.
No, you do sleep better at night.
That it is the truth. I sleep so much better. I can't even tell you. So I want everyone out there to...
Have you ever been to the villages? No, I have not been to the villages.
I really do. And I've been having a lot of issues at night. And I thought...
That's way in a whole nother part of Florida. That's like Central Florida and then a little bit north.
Listen to Rebecca. Go to MyPillow.com and use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, and have the best night's sleep you've ever had with your MyPillow or one of the other great products that you'll find there. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
Hey guys, and don't forget Mother's Day right around the corner. There is no better gift for the mom on your Mother's Day gift-giving list than something from MyPillow. The MyPillow is spectacular. I've told you guys about the MyPillow. I got my mom a MyPillow for Mother's Day a couple years ago. She had come over to the house, stayed over the weekend at the house, stayed over, slept in the guest room, and she said, hey, can I sleep on one of those MyPillows you're always talking about? And I want to see if they're really as good as you say. And she was just like Rebecca, you heard there in that commercial. She woke up the next morning, she says, wow, that's amazing. So I got her a MyPillow for Mother's Day a couple years back, a couple Mother's Day ago. And it is the only Mother's Day gift, I promise you, that my mother not only still has that I've ever given her, but remembers. It's the only one I really remember giving her. That was of substance, flowers, candy, cards. Get Mom a MyPillow. If you go to MyPillow.com, there are great specials going on when you use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. And moms, by the way, include your mom, your grandmother, your wife, and your daughter if she's got children. And this brand new item they have, the MyPillow My Slippers. Mike Lindell says they are the most comfortable slippers you will ever wear. They come in multiple styles, multiple colors for both men and women. Save 40% off the My Slippers with the promo code KANE. That's right, that's a great deal. The 6-piece MyPillow towel set, buy one set, get a second set free with free shipping with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. The MyPillow mattress topper, turn your whole bed into a big MyPillow. Mom would love this one. 30% off with the promo code KANE, plus 2 free standard MyPillows. That's an incredible deal. The MyPillow pet bed, which I have for my dog and my cat, just $19.99 with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. And there's many other specials there. There is something for everyone at MyPillow.com. Make sure you use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, for these spectacular deals. All right, welcome back, everyone. If you're on hold, stand by. Our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 888-465-2631. I want to talk about what happened in Minneapolis. Let me just read through this story a little bit. This is, where am I reading this from? This is in the Washington Post. You know, I have the Apple News app. So I get, most of what's on the Apple News app is liberal stuff. So it's Washington Post. Police shoot, kill man outside Minneapolis. Hundreds of protesters clash with officers in an area where tensions are high. That's the headline. And of course, they've got a picture of a police officer with a nightstick and riot gear confronting a black woman with a megaphone. Police in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota, finally shot fatally. It's Monday. Give me some slack. I had a long weekend. Had some wine on Saturday. I guess it's still in there. I'll start over. Police in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota, fatally shot a man during a traffic stop on Sunday, sparking clashes at the scene later between hundreds of protesters and officers in an area where tensions are already running high during the ongoing trial of Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin. The victim's family identified him as 20-year-old Dante Wright. In the hours after the shooting, protesters clashed with police in riot gear, breaking a police cruiser's windshield as police fired non-lethal rounds, the Minneapolis Star-Tribune reported. Police said the shooting happened shortly before 2 p.m. when an officer stopped a car on a traffic violation and found the driver had an outstanding warrant. As they tried to arrest him, he got back into the car and an officer fired at him, Brooklyn Center Police Chief Tim Gannon said. The man drove for several blocks after being shot before striking another vehicle. He was pronounced dead at the scene. A female passenger in the vehicle suffered injuries not believed to be life-threatening and was transported to a hospital. And there's some other details. Okay, now first off, who has time to go out and riot on Sunday night? I got to get up and be at work in the morning. I don't have time to go to riots on Sunday nights or any weeknight. Well, any night really, but you know what I'm talking about? It's like these people don't have to get up on Monday morning to go to work, I guess. Listen, we don't have a lot of details. He was stopped on some type of minor traffic violation. The police officers, and this is what I find very interesting here, as far out as we are on this. The police said they found that he had an outstanding warrant. Do you know, as I'm speaking to you right now, this could change at any moment, but as I'm speaking to you right now, do you know it has not been released in the press what that outstanding warrant was for? That's a very interesting thing because that's key information. If the outstanding warrant was for parking tickets and he didn't show up to court, okay, that's different than an outstanding warrant on a weapons charge or something. You understand what I mean? So I think they need to get out there and the press don't want you to know what the outstanding warrant was about because it doesn't fit the narrative probably. But people always ask, why do these things happen? Let me tell you this. Minneapolis, they talk about racism among police officers and all of this stuff. Minneapolis is a Democrat town. No doubt about it, right? It's a Democrat town. Chances are, if you are stopped by a patrolman in a traffic stop in Minneapolis, the chances are that police officer that pulls you over is a Democrat. Have any of you ever wondered what the party affiliation of Derek Chauvin is? Don't you think, if Derek Chauvin was a Republican, don't you think you'd be hearing that in the media all the time? I've never heard his political affiliation shared with us. But it's a Democrat town run by Democrats and populated by Democrats. Most of the cops are Democrats too. But that doesn't fit the narrative, right? They want you to think they're MAGA hat-wearing cops. But what that warrant is very important. And what this guy did, I mean, it's tragedy. I don't want to see anybody lose their life. But this guy, he was stopped by the cops. What did he do? He got back in the car after the cops had him out. Why would right then and there? First off, we don't know what the warrant was about. It could have been a felony warrant. I don't know. I think if it was a traffic ticket warrant, we probably would have heard that already from the press because they said, look, over traffic tickets they did this. They really, we'll find out what the warrant is, hopefully soon. But no matter what the warrant was for, he got back in the vehicle. That's a threatening move. If you're an officer and someone gets back in the vehicle after you have them out of the car, don't you think a police officer should assume that they're going back in the car to grab a weapon? Another thing about these incidents, a lot of it has to do with the way you behave. When I was in school, we had a class called civics. I don't even know if they teach civics anymore. I think it's been replaced in middle school and high school with radical learning, women's studies or something. I don't know what they teach anymore. But in civics, you learned all about the government and why it works and how it works, and and citizenship and all these things that the left hate. Good citizenship. And I remember once my teacher in 8th grade, I remember this guy so well. His name was Mr. Wirtz, New River Middle School here in Fort Lauderdale. And I was in 8th grade like in 85, I guess, 85 or 6 or something. And he showed us a movie, and everybody in it was white cops, white guy. White guy was walking down the street, and he was stopped by the cops. And he gave him a hard time, and he ran. And it was one of those what ifs, and they show you all these different scenarios. And the film stops. Teacher got up, it was part of the lesson, and said, right now, those police officers could shoot him. They're justified in shooting. He's running from the police, all this stuff. See, the way that you handle yourself at a traffic stop says everything. Okay? A couple years ago, I was stopped 5 times by police. 5 times by police. In just a couple of month period. I didn't receive 1 ticket. Not 1 ticket. I was driving down the road on the way to, this was at our old radio studio in Coral Springs. I'm driving down Wiles Road, and I was actually, this was a while back. This is when I was still on Periscope. I was live streaming on the way to work on Periscope, and I got pulled over for speeding in a construction zone. No ticket, because the way I handled myself. I have a 4-door car, and when he stopped me, the first thing I did was roll down all the windows. I was still live streaming because I had the camera. I didn't want to have anything in my hand. It was there in the car. I rolled down all the windows so that when he walked up, he could see in the car that I was alone. And in fact, he thanked me for that. And he asked me some questions, and I said, I said, I'm sorry, officer, on my way to work. Had a little lead foot there, and he says, okay. He said, you're lucky I'm not one of the motorcycle guys, one of the motor officers. They wouldn't let you go. But I got stopped 5 times in just a couple month period, not 1 ticket. And all of it, I know you'll say white privilege, but it's the way that I handle myself with police officers with kindness. Police officers respect kindness. Respect. Yes, sir. Thank you. Roll the windows down. Show your hands on the wheel. When the cop got up to my car, I had the windows down. I had my driver's license, my proof of insurance, my registration in my hand with both hands on the wheel. I'm ready for business because I'm cooperative. I'm not giving the guy grief. And if you're raised by liberals, and with the way the media is today, you learn just the opposite. And what you learn to do is that when you're stopped, it's because of all these other reasons, historical, systematic racism, he's white, I'm black, all these things. And even if that's true, you still want to behave like I do because you're escalating things. When I've been stopped by police, the last thing I want to do is escalate. And if you give them grief at a traffic stop or go to get back in your car, after they have you out of the vehicle, you're escalating things. Doesn't mean the police officers are always right. There's no perfect people. There was one perfect person. His name was Jesus. Right? So, and people have bad days. And I've been pulled over by police officers that had an attitude. They gave me grief. Always treat them with respect, with kindness. And it goes a long way. In fact, I think it catches police officers off guard most of the time, tell you the truth. So, this is a tragic incident in Minneapolis. But the guy got back and he pulled over for a warrant. If any of you know what the warrant was for, please let me know, because I was looking for that, and I haven't seen it in any of the stories yet. But regardless of what the warrant was for, getting back into the car was an aggressive move. That's why he got shot. He didn't get shot because he was driving while black. He didn't get shot because he was a black man. He got shot because after the officer had him out of the vehicle, he went back in the vehicle, and the officer assumed, which I think is a fair assumption, that he went in to get a weapon. That's why he got shot. All right, listen, those of you on hold, don't go anywhere. I'll take our break for the bottom of the hour, back with your calls. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. That's right. We'll be back right after this. Do not go anywhere.
Lori Kane, and I want to tell you about Brighton Dental Care.
Welcome, guys. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, and everybody in there, like the video. If you don't mind, like the video. That helps so much.
Which, by the way, he offers to all Steve Kane listeners. I had 2 cavities. I needed a crown on top and a crown on the bottom. If I were a horse, they would have put me down. So I scheduled my appointment for the next Saturday because Brighton Dental has Saturday appointments available, and they saved me a ton of money.
Oh, now, guys, I was talking about this last week. There's an app that I have called Marco Polo. Download the Marco Polo app. It's completely free, and it's a kind of a way to get to know each other in the chat room a little better. If you go look Brian Craig Fans, 3 words, Brian Craig Fans on the Marco Polo app, I leave little video messages there, and you guys, for free, you can go there. You can leave either audio or video messages and have a whole conversation there inside our group. And it's called Marco Polo, completely free in the app stores. Brian Craig Fans. Well, thank you, Metro.
Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per
Oh, man.
These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone at 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel.
Yeah, Marco Polo is the app. Brian Craig Fans. It's really cool. If you go there, you'll see. You can leave video messages or audio messages. We have a whole... I just started doing this the other day. My wife started it. And I like it. It's a good way for us to communicate. Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show. All right, let's go to the phones. Our number, toll free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's K-A-N-E and the number 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. We are back live on this Monday morning, April 12th. We were off Friday, but we're back live this morning. Good morning. You are on the radio. What's your name?
Yes, this is Ben from Minnesota.
Oh, hey, what's up, Minnesota?
Yes, about the person or so. As far as I know about the case, so he was like running or so, and then the guy he shot in the car and he had a passenger, but I don't know further information on it. It hasn't been released yet.
Okay. I bet you called me. I didn't call you, so I thought you and you're from Minnesota. Do you have anything to contribute to the discussion?
They did some looting in a bunch of stores already.
Oh yeah.
Already in so 2 Metro phone stores and a GameStop and a clothing store.
Oh really? It's very difficult to find a GameStop these days. Most of them have closed. Well, listen, this, and this is, I know that the Chauvin trial's back in today, and, but I haven't seen one story telling us what the outstanding warrant on this guy was. Not one, which I find very interesting and telling.
Yeah, well, I know there's like a warrant out, but guess we'll find out within like 24 hours or less.
Well, you know, if it was a warrant because he failed to appear on traffic violations, I think that would have been released by the media. The media know what. There's no way the media do not know what the warrant was for. They've talked to the mother. They've talked to the father. They know that he borrowed $50 from his mom to go to the car wash with his new car. I'm getting a whole biography of this guy, except what the outstanding warrant was for. And there's no way that the media do not know what the outstanding warrant was for at this point. Of course they know. They don't want to tell us because it doesn't fit the narrative.
Yeah, they never do that.
The warrant, having a warrant, well...
I don't know about defunding the police and all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, three things here, right? With the regular traffic stop, a warrant of any kind elevates the situation for the officer, and then the type of warrant elevates it even to another level possibly. Like I say, if it's a felony warrant of some violent act, I don't know. If it's a warrant that if he's arrested, he'll do some serious time for possibly, that elevates things. And then him getting back into the car. And why did he get back in the car? Was he going to speed off? Did he have a weapon in the car? Was there a knife? Was there a gun? Was he just going to try to flee? You know, yeah.
Well, the cops was kind of worried, so I guess he had a passenger in the vehicle or so, and worried about hostage too. So that's also another thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's a sad situation. I don't like to see anyone die. Okay, I don't want to see anything happen like this. But I think the police officer, based on everything we've heard right now, looks as if he did the right thing. Is he supposed to wait for the guy to get out of the car after he gets back in? I don't think so. You know, we very well could have.
Someone like this grabs in the car for a gun either.
Yeah.
Goes to a cop.
And you know, if he would have had a gun, just say, we don't know that he did, but let's just, if he did and he came out with a gun and shot the cop, that would have been an unjustified shooting, right? That would have been, that would have been a murder of a police officer. These people that are looting the GameStop and everything up there in Minneapolis, do you think they would have cared about the unjustified shooting of a police officer? I don't think so. Now, let me ask you, this town, is this like a suburb of Minneapolis? This Brooklyn, whatever neighborhood?
I'm familiar with Minneapolis or so very well.
Okay.
St. Paul. So it's, but it's just right on the border from what I heard. It's right on the border of like St. Paul.
Oh, okay. Now, you never called me before. How'd you find the show?
Actually, I've been watching your show daily.
Oh, on YouTube.
Yep.
All right. Well, welcome. Thanks for calling. All right. Take care, man. Have a good day. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Hey, good morning, Brian. It's Greg, too.
Hey, Greg. What's up?
Hey, listen. I'm pro law enforcement, but
the
argument you're making is just not logical, Brian.
Oh, okay. Walk me through it.
You're saying if you get back into your car, you're presuming that person is reaching for a gun. That's your whole logic there. Not either license or registration, a gun.
Yeah. Well, first off, well, before I tell you why I say that, why do you think I say that?
Because you try to reach an audience that's going to feed into your, like, I don't know, I can't quite understand it. You're pro-law enforcement, so am I. But if a person goes into, know what I think they're going to the car? Maybe they're going to walk, like, drop.
I know. Excuse me. You're saying that you're saying that I'm like what you're saying is I'm like a. Hold on. Let me finish my sentence. You're telling me that either I am a cop groupie, or I want to tell the listening audience pro-cop viewpoints because I think that's what the conservative audience wants to hear. Is that what you said?
Correct, and that makes...
Okay, now stop that. Then why have you not heard me once defend Derek Chauvin?
Well, what do you think about Derek Chauvin?
No, excuse me. If that is true, why have you not heard me defend Derek Chauvin? And by the way, back in the Trayvon Martin trial, I went through a lot of grief from this audience, because I was in favor of convicting George Zimmerman for murdering Trayvon Martin. But if I'm a cop groupie that just tells conservatives what they want to hear about cops, why have you not heard me defend Derek Chauvin on the air?
Well, have you not defended him, and want him to...
Well, by your logic, I must be doing it, but we're in the middle of a trial.
Right.
I'm not going to answer your question on that. You made an accusation. You accused... You're doing to me what 60 Minutes did to Ron DeSantis. You're accusing me of being a deceitful liar who says things just because people in the audience want to hear a certain viewpoint.
I'm asking you to opine. You brought Derek Chauvin into it. I'm asking you to opine, give your opinion.
No, because what you're doing is fishing. You're trying to be a radio talk show host. You're fishing. You accuse me of lying. Not only did you accuse me of lying, you accuse me of spreading false propaganda. And if I am a cop groupie who tells pro-police conservatives what they want to hear about cops, regardless of the situation, why do you think you have not heard me defend Derek Chauvin? You do listen to the program.
I asked for your opinion.
I'm here 5 days a week giving my opinions. In that trial, we're in the middle of it.
Right now, just tell your audience, what do you think Derek Chauvin...
I'm not going to do that because you want me to. The people that listen to this program know as well as you know what I've said about Derek Chauvin. No. Oh yeah, I'm afraid. That's why I've said it many times on the air. You listen to the show. Now he'll tell me he doesn't listen. You don't listen to the show. You called me. Listen, you called me Thursday, the last time we were on the air. Now you're lying to me. Oh my goodness. Goodbye, Greg, too. Oh man. Oh, did you guys, this morning, oh my goodness, today's trash day at my house. And it's also bulk day. We get bulk day every week, which is nice, where they take anything. And I left the house this morning. My garbage and my garbage cans were all over the front yard. Garbage cans knocked over, trash bags all over the yard. And I had a bunch of cardboard boxes and stuff I broke down and put in the thing for them to pick. All cardboard all over the... So before I left the house, I had to pick all this stuff up. And the reason that is because yesterday, oh my goodness, that weather yesterday afternoon here in South Florida was pretty brutal, wasn't it? There were, I don't know what the wind gusts were, but I have big, huge garbage cans. There's ones that are so big that the garbage truck picks them up with a handle. The garbage guys don't even pick them up. They have like a hydraulic lift that picks up the garbage cans. 2 of them completely filled and all over the place. The wind gusts yesterday were strong, man. I was on my back porch. Oh my goodness. We had to have had tropical storm force wind gusts yesterday. And the rains were pretty brutal too. And that tells you what? Yeah, hurricane season. It's right around the corner. And you want to call Tom Laporta over at Laporta Contracting and have him do an inspection of your roof. Okay, you know what happened with Steve. When hurricane season comes, you want to make sure that you are safe under your roof. You want to make sure, and by the way, his inspection is completely free. Okay? Steve will have his roof in place before the hurricane season officially starts. Thankfully so. Steve would have been in a lot of trouble if he would have waited and not had his roof inspected and the repairs begun by Tom Laporta from Laporta Contracting. Steve's roof would not have made it through a hurricane force event, or maybe even tropical storm force winds. And those gusts yesterday had to be tropical storm force, maybe even close to Hurricane 1, the gust. It wasn't sustained, but it was brutal. It was brutal, man. Call Tom Laporta. Also, you know what? You can talk to him about other things too, including impact windows. Oh man, I have impact windows, and it's beautiful to have impact windows during a hurricane. It really is, because you can see out during the storm. I love it. Call Tom Laporta. This number rings directly to his cell phone, 954-604-4602, 954-604-4602. Online, LaportaContracting.com, LaportaContracting.com. All right, we'll be right back after this. Do not go anywhere.
Hey guys, Brian Craig here. Here on the Steve Kane Show, we love hearing from our listeners talk about their great experiences with our sponsors. Here's Rebecca talking about the MyPillow. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name?
Rebecca.
Hey, Rebecca.
Good morning. I just wanted to know, Steve and Brian, that I've been listening to you. I'm 57 years old. I've been listening to you since I'm 21.
Wow.
So you know, and this is my first time calling. I I ordered my pillow, and let me tell you, I thought it was just a, marketing tool saying that you sleep better at night. Oh my God. I'm here to attest that it is the truth. I sleep so much better. I can't even tell you. So I want everyone out there to believe that when people say you sleep better, you really do. And I've been having a lot of issues at night, and I've bought expensive pillows and, cheap pillows, and this has really made a difference.
Listen to Rebecca.
Make sure that you're subscribed, guys, and like the video. Subscribe, click the notification bell, and like the video.
One of the other great products that you'll find there. Promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at mypillow.com.
This is Dr. Montez from the BioStation West Delray. The BioStation is America's premier age management solution due to the extensive array of options available.
You will, Robert. Don't worry.
Health seriously. Our men's health program is doctor supervised with multiple options to treat erectile dysfunction and low testosterone. Erectile dysfunction may be a sign of a more serious issue, and our medical team can help you get to the root cause. Let us help you get to the source of the issues that are holding you back from leading a fulfilling life. If any degree of erectile dysfunction is holding you back, call me immediately at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for it.
All right, 12 before 7. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE1. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Brian, how you doing?
All right. What's your name?
Mike from New York.
Hey, Mike. What's up?
I just wanted to tell you real quickly, the New Mexico, I'm not sure if you heard, but New Mexico, guy pulled over a guy, I just sent you it on Twitter, and he asked for his license and his registration. He went in his glove department. Guess what he pulled out of his glove department?
Yeah, he got a gun and shot the cop. I saw it this morning.
The video in the cop.
Yeah.
So what is he talking about? The guy who just called the lawyer.
Yeah. And that shooting. I mean, look at this. I mean, that shooting. I believe the shooter was the shooter white.
The shooter was Mexican, but
Mexican. He was Mexican, but he went back in the car for the gun, out of the glove box. That's exactly right, because people that travel around with weapons like that keep them in the glove box a lot. And this guy in Minneapolis getting back in the car. It's a tragedy. I don't want to see anyone get shot, but the police officer did what he had to do. He at that point he had to assume the guy was going for a weapon.
And then just in closing, it's funny because Greg doesn't call you up when the unarmed white girl that was a Trump supporter got shot by a Black Lives Matter police.
Greg, too, is a closeted liberal. If you notice, every one of his calls, I love Trump, but I support the police, but I'm a Republican, but. You know what I mean? Every call begins that there's always the but. He says it's nonsense. He's a closeted liberal. That's okay. I just wish he'd come out of the closet and be honest, man. All right, take care. So we got some more detail here. Let me finish this Washington Post article. 1-888-GO-KANE1. This is the Minneapolis case. Police have not identified the victim, but Aubrey Wright identified him as his son, Dante. Is it Dante? Yeah, Dante Wright, who is black. The officer who shot him has not yet been identified. Wright, 42, said his son had recently asked his mother for $50 to take his car to the car wash, where he was headed when the shooting happened. They had recently bought him a car, his father told the Washington Post. Did the Washington Post ask the father what the outstanding warrant was for? Wright, who was at the grocery store when his son was shot, said he received a call from his wife around 2 p.m. with the news. She was screaming over the phone. She was saying Dante was shot, she said. When Wright arrived at the scene less than 10 minutes later, he said he saw his son's 2011 Buick LaCrosse partially destroyed, his son's body covered with a white sheet on the sidewalk. This is not a neighborhood where stuff like this happens, said Wright, who added that the family lives about 3 miles from where the shooting took place. Brooklyn Center is about 10 miles north of downtown Minneapolis, where a murder trial is underway for Officer Derek Chauvin in the George Floyd incident. This is a developing story. I mean, they're talking to the father. They didn't even say, if they would have asked him what the outstanding warrant was for, and he said he didn't know they would have it there. They're suppressing what the warrant was for because it doesn't fit the narrative, would be my guess at this point. Now, maybe I'll be wrong when it comes out later on, but I find it very odd. Who, what, when, where, why. That's what a reporter's supposed to do. Who, what, when, where, why. That's right. And that is a very key piece of information. Now, I imagine most everybody in this audience has at some point in their life been stopped for a traffic violation. Maybe there's some people that haven't, but most people that have driven for any period of time, you've been stopped for traffic violations, right? Now, I ask you a couple questions. Think about this now. In the traffic violations that you've had, how many times have you been asked to get out of the vehicle? I'll tell you, it happened with me once. One time. One time I was asked to get out of the vehicle, just once. Didn't get a ticket then either, by the way. But think about that. Okay? So if you were told to get out of the vehicle, which you do, did you try to get back in the vehicle without asking the cop for permission? And when I first started driving, and I didn't really know the rules of the road too much, I was driving, I was about, 17 or 18, and I was driving at night, and I remember exactly where I was, and you guys here in South Florida will know where this was at. I was at the intersection of Griffin Road and State Road 7. I was about 17 or 18, so this was like the 80s, late 80s. I got pulled over for a traffic violation. It was at night, and the police officer was behind me with the lights on, and I had not been driving very long. Very little time on the road. A year, maybe less. He had the lights on, and he was talking to me on the PA system. And I couldn't really understand what he was saying very well. And I did something crazy. I opened the door and put my foot out on the ground. And boy, I could hear what he said after that. Things got escalated right quick. He was white. I'm white, of course. And he said, do not get out of your vehicle. Get back in your vehicle. Get back in your vehicle. And I did exactly what he said. And he came up with his gun out. And he asked me why I did that. And I told him, I said, I couldn't understand what you were saying. I'm very sorry, officer. And he went through the car. I let him search the car. Okay? I didn't make my case on the street. He probably thought I was drunk or on drugs to do something so stupid. Yeah, I had no idea. You know? And when you were stopped at a traffic stop, regardless of the situation, you do exactly what you were told by the officer. You don't deviate from it. And you certainly don't jump back in your vehicle after they have you out of the car. You have escalated things. And once you, and see, a lot of times, they don't teach kids today what I was taught, right? Obey the police officer at the street. A lot of times people get pulled over and all of a sudden they think they're an attorney with the ACLU arguing their case. And also because of the media and the education system in Hollywood and television and everything, putting all this BS out there about racism from the police officers, when people who are black are stopped by the police officers, especially young black men, they escalate things because they don't listen to the police. They not only do they assume they're being stopped for being black, regardless of what they were doing, speeding, run a red light, got a warrant. None of that has anything to do with why. They're stopped because they're driving while black, right? They tune all that other stuff out. So they've got a racist police officer who stopped them from being driving while black, even though they have outstanding warrants and everything else, like this guy. And they cop an attitude, and they escalate things, and the cops get scared, as they should. What human would not be frightened if you've pulled someone over with an outstanding warrant, you have them out of the vehicle, you're questioning them, and they jump back in the car? Are you kidding me? Please. But because young people are brainwashed, thinking in a different way that my generation was brought up thinking when it comes to police officers, they escalate things right from the get-go. Each and every time. And it should not and does not have to be that way. Now, I got to tell you guys about Dr. Mitch Matez at the biostation. You know, in just over a week, I hate to say, you're not going to hear me say this too much. I'll say it from time to time, but not too much. But in a week and a day, I'm going to have a birthday. I'm going to be 50 years old. And I know, big one, right? 50 ain't what it used to be. But, yeah, I know. You won't hear me say that too much. I guess I'm just trying to process it, so I'll probably say it a little bit more leading up to it. But afterwards, you probably won't hear. I may never say it again. But I'm pretty active, very busy. Do this show, do my podcast, do a whole bunch of other stuff. And the reason I'm able to do so much is because of Dr. Mitch Matez over at the biostation and hormone replacement pellet therapy. Hormone replacement pellet therapy is all natural product that, it's a natural hormone that your body produces naturally. The problem is, as you grow older, your body produces less of it. That's why we age. And what Dr. Mitch Matez does over at the biostation with hormone replacement pellet therapy, they have a lot of other things too, but with hormone pellet replacement therapy, and I'm a patient, that's what I use, he restores your hormone levels to where they were when you were younger, restores your hormone levels to where they were when you were in your mid-20s. It gives you more energy. It gives you your sex drive back. You will feel younger. If you're suffering from hair loss, it will stop hair loss in its tracks. And the hair you have left will grow back thicker and fuller. I get haircuts a lot more often since I started hormone replacement pellet therapy. I wasn't suffering from hair loss, but my hair grows faster, thicker, and fuller. I get haircuts much more often. And women, hormone replacement pellet therapy does miracles in women as well. You know, women, if you're suffering from menopause, do you know that hormone replacement pellet therapy will stop menopause in its tracks and reverse the signs and symptoms of it? Boom. Night sweats, gone. Mood swings, gone. Hair loss in women also stopped, and the hair you have will grow back thicker, fuller, and longer as well. Call Dr. Mitch Matez over at the biostation. Free consultation for listeners of the Steve Kane Show. The number 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893. All right, 1 hour down, 2 to go. Those of you on hold, don't go anywhere. We'll take our break for the top of the hour and be right back.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Have you gone without insurance through the Affordable Care Act because you thought you couldn't afford it? The times are changing. I have exciting news to share with you from I Will Advisors. With the signing of the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, the government has increased the subsidies available to people buying insurance through the marketplace. In fact, even people making over 400% of the federal poverty level can get insurance now and not pay more than 8.5% of their income. There's talk of people currently paying less than $100 per month, and you could possibly pay $0 per month with these new changes. It doesn't cost anything to check, but everyone must take action. The special election period will end, but the sooner you take action, the sooner you can start saving money. Call Dan at I Will Advisors, 954-753-8080, 954-753-8080. You've heard Steve Kane talk about the great work and the incredible prices at Dr. Gupta's Brighton Dental. Richie the bus driver called Steve Kane on the air and told him about his experience at Brighton Dental.
Good morning. I have to talk about Brighton Dental because your sponsor is a miracle worker. I broke my tooth. I fractured it and went backwards in my mouth. Oh my front top tooth. I put it back into the socket. It felt like it was falling out. I had pain. I couldn't even eat spaghetti. And I was going to a wedding in New York 2 days later. And I said, what am I going to do? You know? The dentist here wanted to charge me $120 just to look at it and to tell me he couldn't do anything. I went to Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. I traveled 139 49 miles, I would do it again in a heartbeat, each way. Okay, the man sat and worked on my tooth for 2 hours, put a pin in it, put it back in place. I could eat anything I want. He said it was temporary. He did such a great job. It feels like permanent. I have no pain. I can eat anything I want now. And the fact of the matter, this is what really was unbelievable. I was getting on the bus to go to the reception, okay, in New York City. He knew I was in New York. The phone rings. Who do you think's on the line?
Dr. Gupta.
Right. He wants to see if everything is going okay and if I'm in any pain. The guy is
Steve Kane Show.
Wonderful. I mean, thank you. Thank you so much. I wouldn't have been able to eat. I wouldn't have been able to go. I would have looked like a pumpkin.
Everybody needs a great dentist, and of course, for you Steve Kane listeners, you have one, Dr. Gupta, and he's over there at Brighton Dental. He takes really good care of you. He's very conscientious. He's, dentistry is an art when you stop and you think about it. And Dr. Gupta certainly is an artist, and we're so pleased to have him with us.
Yeah, I just wanted them to know if you need a dentist, and the guy is so good at what he does, he's so gentle, and I mean, I don't like dentists. This guy is top shelf, and I'm going down to him to get it permanently put in, but right now, I don't have any pain. I can eat anything I want. Incredible.
Take Richie the bus driver's advice and go see Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. Call 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing?
Welcome, everyone. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. And everybody in there, if you're already subscribed, make sure you like the video. All right? That helps a lot. Liking the video helps the video get recommended to other like-minded people that like this kind of content.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE. 888-GO-KANE. 1.
All right, welcome back. Hour number 2 has begun. Pretty hot first hour there. Hour number 2 has started. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. We're talking about quite a few things on the table. This incredible event that the president had at Mar-A-Lago over the weekend, the police officer who shot this man in Minneapolis during this traffic stop after the guy got very aggressive. Now there's riots wrong with this. Listen to this. Liz Cheney, charges are sickening. She's talking about the accusations against Matt Gaetz. Charges are sickening. Liz Cheney pulls no punches over Matt Gaetz allegations. A couple things about that. You know what I find sickening, Liz Cheney? Lying that there's weapons of mass destruction in Iraq and getting tens of thousands of Americans, maybe even hundreds of thousands of Americans involved in a global conflict, disabling an entire region of the planet, the Middle East, and being responsible for tens of thousands of deaths and Americans and coalition ally young men being maimed and killed. I find that sickening, Liz Cheney, who had to think and do focus groups before she would decide whether or not she would condemn her own sister because her sister's gay. I find someone that has to go to focus groups and opinion polls because they're, about whether or not they're going to condemn their gay sister because she's gay before they run for Congress. I find that sickening. And I love how all of a sudden the media think Liz Cheney is the go-to woman when it comes to sexual harassment. And after seeing her on television, I've never seen her speak in such a long period of time, but I saw her on that show this weekend. Liz Cheney is a woman who's never had to worry about being sex trafficked or sexually harassed. I promise you that. All right, let's go to the phones. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Yeah, good morning.
Oh, hey, Richie. How are you?
Good. I have to apologize. I slept through the first hour of your show. I caught the couple minutes where you said that young people try to be.
Yeah, that's just what I want to hear in the morning. I was sleeping through your show. Oh, yeah, that's brilliant. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that wonderful?
Listen to me.
Yeah.
You know, they know how to play the police too. I mean, it's not just black kids. It's all kids. I'm telling you, they know how to play crowds also. I can tell you right now, I mean, I've seen a guy, listen, with this Floyd thing, with them screaming and creating.
Oh, maybe you slept through all the events yesterday. You know, there's riots going on in Minneapolis. You're aware?
That.
Oh, okay. Well, I tell you what, Richie, wake up, turn on the news, and then call back, okay? Wake up, turn on the news, as opposed to doing some generic rant. Oh, I just woke up. Got a call. I don't know what's going on. Haven't heard what you're saying. I don't know what's in the news, but the phone was calling to me. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. 1-888 cocaine 1-888-465-2631. Call up if you're awake and you know what's going on in the news. Okay, I don't want some generic rant. Okay. I just woke up. I haven't seen the news. I haven't listened to you. I heard you mention cops and pull, and these kids, oh my goodness. Ugh. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so, this incident, if you're just tuning in like Richie, this incident in Minneapolis, we're getting all kinds of detail. I watch a lot of ID. Do you guys watch ID? I love ID. My wife and I have that Discovery app, and we're like addicted to the ID network, and we are. And one thing is common, no matter what ID show it is. Most of them that we watch involve murders, right? That's what most of the ID shows are about, murders. And I don't care who it is, I don't care where they're from, I don't care what the situation is. The murder victims are always saintly figures, even in the ID shows. Oh, wanted to be a doctor, a brain surgeon, a veterinarian, just wanted to help, It's great. It's like Bonfire of the Vanities, with that kid in that. Similar thing. But this incident in Minneapolis, police pulled over the guy for a traffic violation. Just happened yesterday afternoon around 2-ish. Had to happen before 2 because, well, I guess maybe it isn't Minneapolis in Central Time, so it might have been 2 o'clock on the East Coast. But police pulled this kid over. Man, he's an adult, pulled this man over for a traffic violation. Find out he's got an outstanding warrant. Police ask him to exit the vehicle. He exits the vehicle, and at some point during the incident, he gets back into the car, scaring the living daylights out of the officer, because why else would he go into the car but to get a weapon? And the officer hit him, and even though he was shot, he sped off in the car and crashed into some other people, luckily not killing them, but he did die at the scene. And what I was talking about in the first hour, what we have not heard one peep about, is what is this outstanding warrant for? Washington Post even went to they call him the victim. To me, it looks like the police officer at this point in time is the victim. He's not yet been named. By the way, if the police officer has not been identified, how do they know this is a racist incident, these rioters? There are black police officers, Not all police officers are white. But they've even interviewed the father. He was on his way to the car wash, and still not one story has said what the outstanding warrant was for. And that's so having an outstanding warrant escalates things. What the warrant is for escalates it again, possibly, depending on what the warrant is for. And then finally, getting back in the car after you've been pulled out, that really escalates things. I know, it's scary, isn't it? It's scary to be a police officer in a situation like that. Oh, man. Now, another point is Minneapolis is a Democrat town. That means most everybody in the town is a Democrat, including the cops. Does anyone know what Derek Chauvin's political affiliation is? Probably not, right? Why is that? Because he's not a Republican. If Derek Chauvin were a Republican, you would know. And you know what? This cop has not been identified in this shooting yesterday in Minneapolis. But chances are, because of the city, he's probably a Democrat too. So is there a problem? Is the problem with racist police officers in Minneapolis, or is the problem with Democrat police officers in Minneapolis? 1-888-GO-CANE-1. We're trying to elevate. I know it's Monday. Trying to elevate the calls here. Looking for people that have woken up and know what's going on in the world. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hey, Brian. Good morning.
Yeah, what's your name?
My name's Tino, Augustino.
Hey, Tino. What's on your mind?
Hey, I tell you what, you really look good on that C-SPAN.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, I thought that was great of you. I tell you what, but you're getting a little older, aren't you?
Well, I'm going to be 50 in a week, yeah. We're all growing older.
Yeah, I know.
Of course. I mean, obviously, Dr. Mitch at the biostation does slow things down.
I got a flat screen TV.
I tell you, these callers just suck today. This hour. The first hour was spectacular. The first hour of this program today was like classic talk radio. I mean, that was an incredible hour. Interesting callers. Greg, too. Great calls. In the second hour has begun. And think about what's happened. And being, radio, this is a performance. You got to perform on the radio. You got to be motivated, get people going. Let me what's your name again? Tito? Tito. You Michael Jackson's brother, Tito Jackson? You're not Tito Jackson, are you?
No.
Okay. No. Okay. Just checking. Now, I want you guys to think about this, right? You've done it. You're on the air for 3 hours. You've done one full hour, 6 o'clock in the morning on Monday. Spectacular hour. Maybe one of the greatest hours on the radio in recent years in the South Florida radio market. You go to your top of the hour break. Your first call. Brian, I just woke up. I haven't heard what you've been talking about, but I heard you say cops, and Richie, there was a shooting with a cop and a guy. Oh, I didn't hear about it. So the first caller tells me they're asleep, slept through the first exciting hour, don't know what I was talking about, and haven't watched the news and don't know what's going on in the news. And then my next caller, this is just wonderful. The next caller is you, Tito Jackson here. Oh, you did a great job on C-SPAN Friday, Brian. You're getting older, aren't you? So you're telling me I look old? I mean, what is the matter with you people? You guys trying to insult me? I'm going to turn 50 years old in a week. A lot of guys that are about to turn 50 go through these crises and do all these crazy things. I'm pretty cool and hip about it. And you guys are trying to... You're looking old. I'm sleeping through your show. You're getting up there. I mean, what is the matter with these? What's going on with you guys?
No, I was saying you look pretty good with beard growing.
I actually shaved for the TV thing, actually. Oh, my goodness.
No, you shaved, but I just wanted to tell you that it was good. It's good hearing you, good seeing you.
Yeah. Okay.
You think Trump will win?
Yes. Let me ask you this, because you're not sounding too hot. Do you think you'll be around to vote in 2024?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to be real good now that I've got the hospital screen TV, huh?
You're in a hospital bed with a big screen TV?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my.
The iHeartRadio, I'm going to tell you something. It's got
That's right. Oh, my goodness. I should have taken today off, too. I got an hour and 45 minutes to go. Steve will be joining us in a little bit, so I know we'll be able to elevate the conversation. All right, listen. I'm going to do the great reset of the second. The first hour was great radio. Very informative, touch on some issues. I'm going to take our break. It's time for a break anyway. And we're going to come back and we're going to forget about the last 16 minutes as if they did not happen. And try to save this show and resurrect this show. Oh, man. All right, my name is Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show. Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. But not because of calls like these. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Hey guys, Brian Craig here. Here on the Steve Kane Show, we love hearing from our listeners talk about their great experiences with our sponsors. Here's Rebecca talking about the My Pillow. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name?
Rebecca.
Hey, Rebecca.
Good morning. I just wanted to know, Steve and Brian, that I've been listening to you. I'm 57 years old. I've been listening to you since I'm 21.
Wow.
So you know, and this is my first time calling. I ordered my pillow, and let me tell you, I thought it was just a, marketing tool saying that you sleep better at night. Oh my God. I'm here to attest that it is the truth. I sleep so much better. I can't even tell you. So I want everyone out there to believe that when people say you sleep better, you really do. And I've been having a lot of issues at night. And I've bought expensive pillows and, cheap pillows. And this has really made a difference.
Listen to Rebecca. Go to MyPillow.com and use the promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, and have the best night's sleep you've ever had with your MyPillow or one of the other great products that you'll find there. Promo code Kane, Kane, at MyPillow.com.
Listen to The Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
Yes. And, Mother's Day right around the corner. We're just a few weeks away from Mother's Day. Go to MyPillow.com and do what Rebecca did, right? Order a MyPillow for your mom. She will love that. Great deal. Promo code Kane. When you go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener specials. There is something for every mom on your Mother's Day gift-giving list. Mom includes, of course, your mom, your grandmother, your wife, right? Your daughter, if she's got kids, and of course, your mother-in-law as well. These are all mothers, and it is their day, and there is something for every mom for Mother's Day at MyPillow.com. Now, go to the radio listener special page. The MyPillow My Slippers, they come in styles for both men and women in multiple colors, and Mike Lindell says they're the most comfortable slippers you will ever wear. I've asked my wife to get me a pair of these, and my birthday's coming up. I asked her for my birthday, so I'm looking forward to that. The MyPillow My Slippers save 40% off with the promo code Kane at checkout. That's incredible. Now this is great. Every mom would love this. The MyPillow mattress topper. Turn mom's entire bed into a MyPillow mattress with the promo code Kane. And if you buy this for your wife, guys, you're getting it for yourself too, but don't tell her that. The MyPillow mattress topper with the promo code Kane, save 30% off, and you also get 2 free included in that. 30% off, 2 free standard MyPillows to go along with it. The MyPillow pet beds, just $19.99 with the promo code Kane. Mom, who is also a mom of pets, will love that for her dogs, for her cats. And there's something for everyone at MyPillow.com. Radio listener special page, and use the promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. All right, we're joined by Steve Kane. Steve Kane coming here to try to rescue the show from the last 10 minutes. Hey, Steve.
Rescue you from you. I mean, for heaven's sake, called in Tino. He was a brilliant performer.
Oh, yes.
And you mean to him.
Was I mean? I don't know.
Been mean.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Was right. The show you did, C-SPAN on Friday, was really great.
Well, I knew. Yeah, that C-SPAN interview. It For those who don't know, I was on C-SPAN on Friday, but if you follow me on social media, you know, because I posted the interview to my social media pages immediately. But they called me up Monday. They sent me an email on Monday after the show asking me to do it. They said it was podcast week. And that's how I found out. I told you guys last week that my podcast was named on the list of the 30 must-listen-to conservative podcasts in 2021. Number 1 was Mark Levin. Number 2 was Glenn Beck over there at The Blaze. And my podcast was number 3. That's how they found me for C-SPAN. So, yeah, it was pretty exciting stuff. That's why we took off on Friday, so I could do that.
You were spectacular.
You know, they got the...
Proud.
Well, yeah, appreciate it.
Bosom swelled with...
Well, that's right, that's right. Well, you did give me some tips, because I haven't done a lot of TV, you know. And the reason I didn't tell you... I knew about it since Monday, and the reason I didn't tell you guys about it is I knew they were taking live calls, and I didn't want the first call to be Richie the bus driver on C-SPAN, followed by Al the John on C-SPAN. But, you know, they do this thing where they have a Democrat line, a Republican line, and an independent line. And it's amazing to me, every call on the Republican line seems to be a Trump-hating liberal over there. But so they're burning down Minneapolis. I guess they had the band all gathered in Minneapolis waiting for the Chauvin verdict, and they released them a little early for this new incident, and they're looting in Minneapolis all night last night, which is very odd to me because, you know, they're looting and burning down the city late into the evening on Sunday night in Minneapolis. Don't they have to get up and go to work on Monday morning? How can they be out looting and burning all night if they got to get up and go to work in the morning?
Well, that's a very good point.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have time for that.
Chances are they're sleeping now.
Yeah. You know, but this incident, have you seen the details on this incident?
I was listening to you recount them, yeah.
I mean, you know, I find it. I'm going to guess that the warrant was a serious warrant. That either is a felony warrant or something, because not one, they tell you everything about the incident. They interview the parents, but not one story tells you what the outstanding warrant was for. I think that's key. You know.
By the way, did you see Donald over the weekend?
Well, I heard about it. They didn't show this great moment he had at Mar-A-Lago. They've not released any audio or video of it yet. It's only been reported in text what he said.
I don't know. I've seen some footage of it.
Not of the speech. Not of the speech. He had a big event at Mar-A-Lago, political fundraising event, and he gave a private address to the crowd, a speech to the crowd, was not televised, no recordings have been released yet, and he just went off on Mitch McConnell and the Republican establishment. It was spectacular from everything that's being reported, but we haven't seen it yet. We've only had people tell us what was said in there.
Say, we're going through some trauma as a country.
Oh no, that's great. That's great, because I saw Liz Cheney on the CBS Sunday show yesterday, who's really a nasty woman, and you know, she thinks she's running the GOP, and you know, and what Trump has done is reestablished who the boss is, and he's the kingmaker of the Republican Party. He's the leader of the Republican Party, and he is. This thing in Mar-A-Lago, he's like, the center of the Republican Party is Mar-A-Lago. And if you think about it, he's a former president, and at this point, only one term. He'll be back in 2024, but he's a one-term former president. When have you ever heard of a former president holding court where sitting members of the Senate and the House and governors come to kiss his ring, begging for his endorsement? I've never seen anything like this before. He's you know, it's historic what's going on at Mar-A-Lago right now. It's never happened. Ex-presidents, they're not involved like this ever. Nobody cares about them anymore. They don't have juice. And
because this mess that they have beneath the border calls out for a leader, and the only leader that we have is, you know, not really.
Oh yeah. President Trump. Yeah.
And is there any question that is what they're going to do here?
Yeah. Well, let's take who's going to do? Biden?
Yeah.
Oh, nothing. Worse. It gets worse. Death, sex assault of the female migrants, all kind of terrible things.
I mean, Biden is, my perception, I would love to, anybody disagrees in our audience, call in and let me know, but my perception is Biden is hemorrhaging by the day.
From our viewpoint, I don't know about from the liberal viewpoint.
I don't think he looks good no matter what.
Well, do you want to... Yeah. Listen, let's take a call or two before we break. There's one opening on the board. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE1, 888-465-2631. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Good morning. It's Andrea.
Hey, Andrea.
Hello, Andrea.
Brian, good on you. That was a fantastic television debut for you. I'm so happy.
Well, it wasn't my debut. I've been on TV. The first time I was on television was right here in Florida in 1976. I was in the Peanut Gallery on the Howdy Doody show with Buffalo Bob Smith. That's a true story. No, I've been on TV a few times, but this one I was nervous leading up to it because after Monday, and I knew it was set up. It was Podcasters Week, so I was DVRing it and watched who they had on. They had on a guy from Glenn Beck's The Blaze. They had a guy on from Ben Shapiro's Daily Wire, Michael Knowles. They had that younger guy from the Young Turks on. And they had all these nationally known people and me, and I was like, wow, I felt like I was being elevated a little bit there, so I was a little nervous about that, but it was fun. But they got a little testy with me over there. See, the interviewer that was interviewing me was a little testy at the end. He was getting a little aggravated. Well, what happened with that interview is they didn't tell me what they were going to talk about. I had no idea. All I knew was they were going to talk about news of the day and take calls. And I assumed they were going to be liberal callers coming after me, which we do hear every day. But I think I caught them off guard by being so pro-Trump, so pro-MAGA, and not only defending President Trump, but defending Matt Gaetz. It really threw them off.
Well, I thought it was fantastic, and kudos to you.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Well, I knew it was okay, because as soon as it was over, Steve, I called you to get your review, because you give me criticism all the time after the show, and you didn't have a negative word to say, so I knew I did all right.
Spectacular. I was very proud.
Yeah. And I did. That was in my living room at home where I did that, by the way. People are asking me where I was. Now, let's take another call. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Hey, Brian. Robert Benson.
Hey, Robert.
Just 2 or 3 comments. One on Liz Cheney, man. She's just like her father. She's a warmonger, and she's going to do anything to slam President Trump because he got us out of wars instead of put.
Yeah.
And what Steve said about Joe Biden, he's doing. I don't even know what to say about what he's doing.
Well, what's going on, and if you haven't yet, you'll probably see it today, Steve. They'll probably play some clips on TV of Liz Cheney. It's like her father. It's like her father, but younger, like when he was Secretary of Defense. She looks like him. She sounds like him. She has his same mannerisms. It's like a transgender Dick Cheney from the Gulf War era. And there is a real battle. Trump is draining the swamp of the rhinos, but the rhinos like her are trying to drain MAGA. And there's a real battle between Liz Cheney and Trump, and we know who's going to win it. But, look, they go on all these liberal shows to bash President Trump. That tells you everything you need to know about Liz Cheney. She wasn't on Fox talking to Tucker like that about President Trump. She goes on the CBS Sunday show with that liberal girl.
Well, if you look at what's going on with a lot of the world leaders now, the global war machine's trying to get something going again because they missed.
Well, it's not the it's the donors that have control over the politicians, right? The donors weren't in control of the government under Donald Trump, and now they're back in control of the government, right? And it's the donors, they make money off of that, so that's why things are ramping up. Hey, listen, thanks for the call. We're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. Those of you on hold, don't go anywhere. I'm Brian. Steve is here, saving me from myself. We'll be right back with your calls after this.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are state of Florida certified roofing
Steve Kane Show.
Contractors focusing
Hold on.
on residential
Steve Kane Show.
and commercial roofing, impact windows, and building restoration. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, from regular asphalt shingles, clay or concrete tiles, standing metal seam, wood shakes, and slate tile systems. Hurricane season is right around the corner. This gives us only a short period of time to make sure your roof and home is ready for the 2021 hurricane season. So don't delay and call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Our website is www.laportacontracting.com, where you will find our latest video and live testimonials from a few of our past clients. Our number again is 954-604-4602.
Mike Lindell and MyPillow, by over 20 retailers, has lost over $65 million in revenue this year already. Boycotts are being pushed by the left. Stand with Mike Lindell. Support MyPillow and the thousands and thousands who work with Mike Lindell. Visit MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener specials, and use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout for incredible savings. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com. Support Mike Lindell and MyPillow. Don't let the tech giants, don't let the left, and don't let the media cancel Mike Lindell and MyPillow. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
All right, we are back 35 minutes after the hour. It's Monday. We're back live. We were off Friday, but we're back live today. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE1. You with us, Steve? Yeah? Okay. Yeah, I hear you fine.
You know me, I love the fun of talk radio. To me is the predictions and trying to imagine how things are going to end and what's going on. I only see one end to this thing, and it's not good for Biden. They keep feeling around and trying to figure out how to make it happen. But I think the end game here is they rebuild Trump's wall. I mean, I don't see any other way this can go.
Yeah.
And of course, it is a huge. All they can do is try to limit to some small degree the amount of humiliation involved in that
Hey, Sarah.
happening.
Good morning, Sarah.
But it seems to me to be inept.
Yeah.
What is your feeling of?
Yeah, well, they said last week that Psaki said. Psaki had very interesting words that she used. Okay, she said that the work on the wall had been paused, which is a temporary word. So they're going to unpause it. And I saw on one of on either MSNBC or CNN the other day, they were talking about how they have to finish these sections because Congress already allocated the funds for it and approved it. So they're trying to act as if it has to be done. So they're gearing up to do it. They're preparing their followers.
Do you believe it's inevitable?
Yeah, but you got to have more than that. Well, let's take some calls because the phones are ringing. Our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1 is the number. They have to do more than finish the wall. They have to do that, but then they have to, they got to get the Mexicans to keep the migrants on their side of the border so they don't, once they're here, they have status, and that's got to stop too. All right, let's go. John in Wellington. Oh. Yeah, go ahead, Steve. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just saying there's a couple things that have to be done. It's a two-stage thing. They also have to do what Trump did in negotiating a deal to get Mexico to...
Yeah.
Diplomacy. Again, another strong Joe Biden.
All Biden knows how to do is take money from other countries. He doesn't know how to do diplomacy. He just knows how to get paid. Yeah. Hey, John in Wellington, you're on the radio.
Yeah. Hi, good morning, Brian. Good morning, Steve. Mr. Trump did take care of the issue, and Mr. Biden took what Mr. Trump did and he threw it in the trash. Mexico was absolutely, positively doing their part, and now these migrants are coming across the border like floodwaters. Everything that...
Well, how do you think it's going to end here? What happens at this point?
I think the people are going to continue to come because Biden will not complete the wall 100%, but the migrants will figure out where the soft spots are, and they'll come through wherever and whenever they can, and it's going to be disastrous for them.
So it's never going to end. You're saying it's never going to end?
No.
I don't think that can happen.
Democrat in charge until Mr. Trump gets back in office or Mr. DeSantis becomes president. Then it will end.
There'll be no one left in Mexico. If that's the way it goes, there'll be no one left in Mexico.
See, Steve, what's going on with what's by the way, those of you that have any comments on what happened in Minneapolis, want to hear from you guys too. But the Democrats have lost so many minority voters. They're trying to replenish the Democrat voter rolls through this process at the border too. And go ahead, John. Can
I comment real quick? Then I'll know you've got a full board. Can I comment on Minneapolis?
Yeah, please.
Because it's very, very, very basic. It can all be summed up by saying that actions have consequences, and stupid actions have deadly consequences. Do what you're told to do what you're supposed to do, and you...
Well, hold on a second here. This is a little bit beyond some generic, after-school special analysis. What the media are doing here is beyond just malpractice. The media, in my opinion, are inciting violence here. First, they have not identified the police officer, so we don't know if he's black or white. But assuming he's white, I assume he's a Democrat because it's Minneapolis. But it was a traffic violation he was pulled over for. The police ran his identity. He had an outstanding warrant, for his arrest. Not one media outlet has told us what that warrant is for, and they know it. And having a warrant elevates it, because this traffic stop has turned immediately into this person losing their freedom. They're going to get locked up because there's a warrant. And what that warrant is for elevates things, too. I don't think it was a warrant for unpaid traffic tickets, probably. It was probably something else. And then the officer had him outside the vehicle. He got back into his car. And at that point, you're a police officer. You've got someone pulled over with an outstanding warrant, which means they're going to lose their freedom, right? They're going to go to jail. No matter what happens, they're going to jail.
You're not telling me that what happened was justified?
Based on what we're hearing, yes. Yeah, it looks like it was. Then
started to get back in his car and they shot him, and you think that's...
Well, when you go, Steve, there's another story in Arizona from this weekend. A police officer pulled a guy over, minor traffic stop. The guy jumped back into his car, pulled the pistol out of the glove box, and shot the cop. And it's on the dash cam. When the cop has you out of the car, and you break ranks and jump back into your vehicle like that, they assume you're going for a weapon. Cop shot him. The cop shot him, and still he tried to speed off after he was shot and crashed into another car. Luckily, he didn't kill anybody, the guy, but it based on what we see, justifiable shooting in Minneapolis, no doubt about it. No doubt about it.
people keep doing stupid things, they're going to keep getting killed. Start paying attention and using common sense.
Well, if you're liberal and if you're raised by liberals in this, when this guy got pulled over, okay, because the Washington.
That's the key.
Yeah, the Washington Post interviewed the father. They did not even ask the father what the outstanding warrant was for. If they did, they didn't put it in the paper because it doesn't fit the narrative. But when this guy got pulled over for a traffic violation and an outstanding warrant, he didn't say to himself, I'm an idiot. I got an outstanding warrant and I'm speeding or did a rolling stop. He says to himself, this guy is harassing me, this cop, because I'm black, he's white, and cops are racist, and this is not right. And you know what I mean? He doesn't look at it that way because he was raised by liberals in a liberal town to be hostile to police.
Well, everyone that put that
thought, that's the whole thing.
Is equally responsible for his death.
Yeah, it's tragic. It doesn't make it any less tragic.
But that's where parenting comes in, and unfortunately, when a child is not properly parented, these kind of tragedies.
Yeah, it's a tragedy. But this shooting was a justified shooting based on what we're hearing now. He jumped back into his vehicle after the cop had him out on and he has an outstanding warrant. I think the cop should assume that he was jumping back in for a weapon. He can't. The cop did the right thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I know you'd like to see it. Well,
eventually.
When somebody does get back in their car, you absolutely have to assume the worst.
Well, look at this other incident in Arizona from the weekend when the guy jumped back into his car and pulled a pistol out and shot the cop. We had two, and you're not going to see too much of that story because it doesn't fit with, and the media are irresponsible for many reasons with this thing in Minneapolis. One, not giving us the full story about the warrant. The media know what the outstanding warrant was for. And since it's in the same town as the Chauvin trial, the media are escalating things for TV ratings. Their ratings are down because of Trump not being in the White House. The Chauvin trial isn't getting them the ratings, but this kind of stuff will. So the media have an interest in violence. It helps their ratings. They make money off of violence, the media. Just like that Black Lives Matter leader with the 7 houses.
When the media tells a story, not only are lies fake news, but omission of facts constitutes.
Yeah. All right, John and Willie, take care. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Oh, yes, Doug.
Well, talking about this, I usually agree. This time I think I have to disagree. First of all, everyone watches the media and sees the police getting water thrown on them in New York, people battering in on the police cars. So the cops have no more respect anymore. This guy, he went into his car to run, probably, and the cop shoots him. If the cop saw him with a gun, there better be a gun in that car. That cop is in big trouble.
Well, I'll tell you two things here. Hold on. You're a police officer. Okay, you're in Sunrise, right? You live in Sunrise? You live in Coral Springs. Okay. You're a police officer and you have someone pulled over. They've got an outstanding warrant. That means no matter what happens, they're going to jail, right? You've got them outside of the vehicle. We don't know what the warrant is, but I'm assuming it's a felony warrant. I don't think it was for unpaid parking tickets. Okay, but it doesn't matter. No matter what the warrant's for, he's going to jail. You've got him out of the car. He jumps back into his vehicle. What do you think he jumps back in the vehicle for?
Well, I would think he's trying to get away, but.
Or go for a weapon. He's jumping back in the wheel. He's jumping back in the wheel to avoid going to jail.
But if he went for the glove compartment or something, or under the seat, then you have to shoot him.
Okay. You got to wait until he has a weapon to shoot you with first. Oh my goodness.
Well, you're not supposed to shoot. Well, what happens if he just didn't go in the car and just decides to run? You shoot him then too? I mean, you have to.
Depends on what the warrant's for. No, if the warrant is for like a violent felony, or for some charge that will send him to jail for a period of time, it escalates things. Yeah, sure. If he's got a warrant that's going to send him to prison.
Could it be a gun or a knife or something in that car, or this cop is screwed?
Well, should he be? So you don't think the cop in this instance did the right thing based on what we know?
Not at all. I think
you don't know enough.
No, we know plenty. We know plenty at this point.
I know if the cop sees the guy got in his car, he's got to try something. Maybe shoot the tires out of the car.
Shoot the tires out of the car?
And shoot like the Lone Ranger, shoot the gun out of his hand.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Be one of my favorites.
Yeah.
No, I would like to. Can we all agree? I don't want to talk about this all day.
Well, it's the big story of the day.
Hey, hold on one second. Can we agree that? I would like to see the cam footage first.
Yeah.
Then I'll tell you how threatening.
Yeah.
Hard to do that.
Well, I don't think he was jumping back in the car for a Bible.
He might have been jumping back in his car to get his registration.
You don't jump back in your car when you're pulled over.
I didn't say it was a good move, but that could be. That's the most likely.
Nah.
I think that car was trying to drive away, get away from this cop.
I think he was trying to escape. Yeah, or get a gun. Escape or get a gun, or a knife.
You don't think if there was a gun in there that would be in the... I know the press...
No, I don't think it'd be in the press right now. I think they would suppress that right now.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit the narrative. The media want violence. They don't want... They want... And this is what I was saying too. These cops in Minneapolis are Democrats. It's a Democrat town. Almost every cop's a Democrat. They work for the government. They're in Minneapolis. They're Democrats too.
50-50. Maybe less than 50-50.
In Minneapolis... There's 80... Oh, please.
Tend to be...
Oh, really?
Obviously more law and order.
Yeah, but they're not... But in these liberal towns, there's still a lot of them are Democrats.
Yeah, unfortunately. The other thing I wanted to mention, if I could, is did you see Dan Bongino, when he filled in for Jesse Waters, had the guy on the campaign for Biden who admitted that Biden, when he was lying... He got bad information. He makes some excuse, but at least he admitted that all the things that Biden was saying was.
Oh, okay. All right, hey Doug, appreciate the call. All right, let's take our last break of the second hour. I'm Brian. Steve is here. This is the Steve Kane Show. If you're on hold, don't go anywhere. Our number is toll free 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
This is Dr. Mitchell Matez of the BioStation West Delray. Have you tried to effectively lose weight but failed? Have you worked your tail off trying to build muscle with no result? At the BioStation West Delray, we offer all of the latest treatment modalities, including growth factor and peptide therapies to help promote weight loss, muscle recovery, support cognitive function, improve libido, and more. If you want to get to the root cause of the problem, our medical team can do the job. Call the BioStation West Delray at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
Steve Kane radio listeners love Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca.
I went over to a Champagne Automotive, and I gotta say that this man is the most fair mechanic I have dealt with in my entire life. We took a car over there that was not being used yet. It belonged to my 90-year-old dad. Everybody I had taken it to before was charging an astronomical amount of money. But when we took it over there, Eddie took a look at it, and I gotta say that this man fixed the car. It's running like a charm. Anybody that needs a mechanic, I strongly recommend Eddie, and he is just the best thing that's happened to this family as far as car maintenance goes. It's fixed. Bottom line, it's fixed, and the price was right.
Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca will never do a repair on your car that your car doesn't need. And their prices are low. Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca. Give them a call. 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101.
Hi, this is George Corey of the Soul Authority. In this time of social distancing and sheltering in place, many people have been forced to neglect their feet. We at the Soul Authority are making it possible for you to still take care of your feet while remaining in your home.
Steve Kane Show.
Send a doctor to your house for all of your podiatric needs. The best part of all is that Medicare pays for this visit. So, if you're a Medicare recipient, give the the Soul Authority a call today at 954-597-7060. That's 954-597-7060. Don't let social distancing stop you from taking care of your feet. Call the Soul Authority today.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
All right, we are back. You know, it looks like MSNBC is expecting a hung jury or acquittal in the Chauvin trial. They had one of their liberals on yesterday attacking the jury in the Chauvin case. Let me play this clip. This was yesterday, MSNBC on their weekend programming.
And you have to remember, this jury has been seeded with ignorance. It's been seeded with people who either did not see the video, which is almost impossible to do in this country, or saw the video and couldn't decide if sometimes maybe black people do need to be choked to death for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. Maybe they had it coming. So those are the people that we're talking to here. It's not talking to me. It's not trying to convince you. That ship sailed long ago, right? They're trying to convince 12 people that have been picked specifically for not knowing things. And so that's what frightens me. No, they don't need to put Chauvin on the stand. They need one juror to refuse to see reason. Of course, we don't let terrorists blame the victim for the terrorism. That's not what happens in this country unless the victim is black.
Okay, so they're already discounting the jury, attacking the jury, and that doesn't look too good for the left with the shot. They're not expecting a guilty verdict on the murder charges, or they wouldn't be attacking the jury already. Oh boy. All right. Well, why are they attacking the jury then if they think they're not going to get the right verdict? Attack the jury? Oh, no. No. I've been following the case a little bit, and it's not going well. They had a witness on Friday. Keep in mind, we're in the prosecution phase. You know, we haven't even gotten into the defense yet, and the defense on cross has been doing good stuff. They had a witness on Friday, the prosecution brought forward, that said that if they had been called to the home of George Floyd with the cocktail that he had inside his system, that it would have been declared an overdose. You know, and they've had a couple medical experts take the defense argument, and these were experts called by the prosecution. So for a hung jury. All right, let's go back to our phones. 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Yeah, good morning. I'm awake. Good morning.
Hey, Richie.
Yeah, I woken up. Hey, listen. I heard conservative Doug. First of all, when you go back into a car and the cop doesn't see what you're doing and your hands, you know, the cop's got to protect himself. Secondly, in the old days.
Well, is the only way. Hold on. You when you say he's got to protect himself, are you saying the cop's only option in this situation was to
shoot
him? Absolutely. He's in the car. His hands are concealed. When's the cop going to take a chance?
Well, you don't know if his hands are concealed. You don't know. We don't know anything. I mean, you can't. You know, you're not more. You wouldn't be more comfortable waiting until you could see. Get around to.
How do you do a talk show if we wait until it's over to talk about it? But basically, we're talking about what we know now. You know.
And here's the other thing: the reaction of the public. Years ago, you paid cash for something, then it went to credit cards. Now you just wait for a cop to shoot somebody, then you go shopping for free. This is outrageous to the people in this country that take advantage of every shooting. It's really sad.
No, listen. When he jumped back into the car, my assumption would be I got a better than 50% chance he's coming out with a weapon. A guy I've stopped with a warrant on a warrant stop who's going to jail no matter what happens. Oh.
Same thing for the guy with the knife that ducked in and he got shot. He can't walk anymore. He's in a wheelchair.
Yeah, especially when this just happened to a cop in Arizona over the weekend with a Hispanic guy he pulled over, jumped back in the car, came out with a pistol, and shot the cop.
Yeah, we all can agree being a police officer today with everything against you, especially New York where they can sue you now. Personally,
I would think that police officers really hate stopping black people these days, because any moment when you
Middle of the night.
Oh, well, this was in the days. This was about 1, 2 in the afternoon when this happened in Minneapolis. I would think if I were a police, I bet you police officers are letting black people all over this country get away with traffic violations that they wouldn't have done in the past, speeding, rolling stops, red lights, and stuff, and because they're afraid. Yeah.
Do you remember the guy that came out of the building? It was I think it was Buffalo just over the summer when he had the gun pointed at the cop and the cop killed him, and they were rioting before they even seen the film, and the cop was trying to protect himself. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
Well, listen, the George Floyd video is really disturbing. That's a different situation. This was a guy who was disobeying police orders, jumped back into the car. I mean, it's a tragedy. I'm sorry that he got shot. This is a big change for you, Steve. You're usually more pro-police.
Well, the evidence here is so scant. I don't know. I had a good question.
This is a big. Usually, you'd be on where we're coming from on this. This is a big change with you. I don't know what's going on.
You've got a guy with a warrant. He's outside the vehicle. He makes him run.
Now, and remember, that warrant means he's going.
To imagine this thing. See, all I want is another piece of information. One more piece of information, but.
Back doesn't matter.
Shoots him in the back.
Well, Steve, if you're leaning over in the car to get a gun out of the glove box, he might get shot in the back.
You agree with that? It's okay if you shot him in the back.
If you're in the vehicle and the cop can't see your hands, and you run into your vehicle after being outside, yes, the right to shoot him. Sorry, back. This ain't the old West where he shot him in the back. The guy is in the vehicle, the cop can't see his hands. First thing you do when you get pulled over, what do the cops say? Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. And you got to put him outside the vehicle.
Yeah.
Did that happen in this case?
No, he jumped back in the car. The cop had him out of the car, and he jumped back in the vehicle. That did not happen in this case.
Yeah, so a lot of times they try to use the car as a weapon against.
Did the cop give any command at all?
But we don't know yet. This has just happened yesterday. This just happened.
Same time.
But I'll tell you this, Steve. We only have bits and pieces of information, right? But you and I know more about the details of this incident than the people that were burning down Minneapolis last night did, going into that GameStop and taking all the games and everything. They don't know anything. All they know is it's, shopping time. Exactly.
Quick, I've turned on a lot of stations. Nothing on this case at all on the news. So
yeah, we're ahead of the game as usual. Now, this is a lead story all over the place. I know Fox wants to obsess over the Zoom call with the teacher, but this is a lead story in online media everywhere. The TV news may be a little bit behind, but this is going to be a big story today. Well, we're ahead of the game here on the Steve Kane Show as usual. Hey, Richie, thanks for waking up. Okay, take care. Richie's a good guy. All right, let's take our break for the top of the hour. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. This is the Steve Kane Show. 2 hours down, Steve. This show's flying by. Only 1 hour to go. We'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Be right back, guys.
Craig here. You've heard us talk about the great low prices Friendly Tire has on new tires and used tires. They also do tire repairs. Listen to one of our listeners talk about their experience at Friendly Tire in Margate.
Hey, Brian. My name is Mike. Just wanted to call and say thank you. I had a problem with my car. I had a flat tire. It was going down really quick. I'm in Coral Springs. I had to go somewhere close by. They couldn't really fix it. So I remember you guys are talking about Friendly Mike at Friendly Tires. So I said, listen, Mike, I need a couple of tires. I told him my son. He goes, I got them. I go, I'll see you tomorrow. They were really cheap. I go over there, and Mike said, which tires do you want to replace? They look relatively new. I said, they are. I just got a big hole in that one. And they said they couldn't be fixed. thanks. He goes, pull your vehicle in. I pulled the vehicle in. He took the tire off. He pulled out the plug that the guy in Coral Springs put in there, and he heat shielded it. He kind of patched it or whatever they call it. I don't know what they call it. And he goes, you don't need any tires. He goes, I fixed that one. Give me $20. But the guy in Coral Springs wanted $500 for 2 tires. I just wanted to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you guys. I love you guys. I love you guys. Have a wonderful day.
Give Mike at Friendly Tire a call right now. We'll give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Don't waste time going anywhere else. You will never find prices as low as Friendly Tire in Margate.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE-1.
Well, call us on the air, Rachel. Confront us with the real news. All right, third hour has begun. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane here. It's the Steve Kane Show. I know the official date for hurricane season is, I think, June 1st, right? But it looks like it's already here with me. Yesterday, I don't know what it was like at your house in Cooper City yesterday, but we had heavy rains and humongously powerful wind gusts yesterday. In fact, when I left my house this morning, my garbage cans had been knocked over. The garbage was all over my yard from the wind, and I had to pick it all up. And I'm looking outside now, and it looks like the rains or it's a rainy day. Call Tom Laporta over at Laporta Contracting. He'll do this at no charge. Inspect your roof. Don't let happen to you what happened with Steve. You know, you see a wet spot, a little drippity drip drip, and you let it go, you let it go, you let it go. Next thing you know, your house is filled with black mold like Steve, and you need a whole new roof. You may need a simple repair. I don't know. I'm not the expert. Tom Laporta is. But with her, Steve, if you didn't, your roof would not have survived hurricane season. You would have been in big trouble.
I waited till the last minute, well, that was foolish, but
yeah,
it's like I escaped.
You did.
Waiting for the purpose.
Well.
Start early.
You want to start now. You want to get that roof inspection, get that roof taken care of, because let me tell you, that roof comes off during hurricane season. You are in big, big trouble. Tom Laporta's number is 954-604-4602. And also, we made this announcement last week. This is amazing. He has the exact same, he does every type of roof, by the way, shingle, asphalt. You hear him, he does every type of roof there is. But he has actually the same roof tiles that President Trump has on the roof at Mar-A-Lago. And you can actually transform your home into a home with a Trump roof with Tom Laporta over at Laporta Contract. I mean, imagine the bragging rights of that, Steve. Having your friends come over and say, I've got a Trump roof, you know?
It's a big...
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. As...
For our listeners, more and more of our sponsors are very, very hyped up.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, you can sleep under the very same roof every night that President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump sleep under at Mar-a-Lago. Call Tom Laporta, 954-604-4602, 954-604-4602, and online, LaportaContracting.com. Make sure you tell him you heard about him on the radio. This is the first time I've not heard you really take the side of the police in a case like this, Steve. Something's going on over there. Did your kids join BLM or something?
No. It's very sketchy. My kids... This wouldn't happen to my kids.
Well, no, because they wouldn't jump back in the car, right?
Well, it's right, because they've been taught, they've been part of their socialization from the time they were little guys was how to relate to the police and treat the police with respect and understand that the policeman is there to protect them and be respectful and be nice and be cooperative.
Yeah, but you.
I've been been stopped by policemen on occasion in one or two instances.
The police stop Jews? They stop Jews? Dude, I know.
We're
rough.
Less than polite.
Yeah.
But that's not going to harm my kid as long as they act in accordance with how they.
Well, but this jumping back in the car is dangerous. A listener just sent me this story from last month. It's in the New York Post. Okay, listen to this story. This is New York Post, middle of March. This story is from. A woman in Tennessee was killed, and a cop was rushed into surgery following a shootout in a parking lot. Graphic video shows footage of the Friday morning encounter between Metro Nashville police officer Josh Baker and Nikita N. Holbert shows the 14-year veteran cop deploying his taser on the woman while ordering her to get out of the car. Baker then, this is the officer, Officer Baker. Officer Baker tries to take the woman into custody as she yells and reaches into her car for a handgun, opening fire on the officer, who shoots back and fatally wounds Holbert. And then he got shot as well. See, you can't wait until they got the gun. If they jump back in the car, I would assume they got one, and they're going for it. And this guy, he shot a little too late. He got shot too. This is what happens. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
It's Andrea.
Hey, Andrea.
Sorry.
Hello, Andrea.
I just want to know, how do the people in these liberal lunatic cities, how are they not demanding that the hired leaders step down? How is
Because they elect them. Because they've elected. They're Democrats. These happen in Democrat cities. You don't see any of this happen in a conservative city. They happen in liberal cities. And they elect these jerks.
It just blows. It just blows my mind that there are no regular people who have.
In these cities, no, there are not normal people in these cities.
All of these instances you read about, in almost all the cases, the police departments have just cut back on the police. That's the
the defunding of the police. And Steve, that the TV shows are now changed. The new season of cop TV shows has changed. For this liberal defund thing. I was watching. There's a cop show that I watch. It's on Sunday nights. It's called The Rookie. It's a pretty good show, but they got all woke this year and they're destroying it. This last week they did a ride-along with a psychologist, and of course now the cops believe that they should have psychologists and psychiatrists in their cruisers to respond to every call to do to do therapy sessions.
Firing the cops, and instead of sending in a situation, instead of sending a police officer, they send a psychologist.
Yeah, therapist, and do therapy.
What can I tell you?
You got to get to the root. You got to act. Yeah, they're robbing someone at gunpoint, and the therapist will get there to talk about their parents and how their parents neglected them and led them to this life of robbing people. All right, Andrea, take care. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Sergeant Willie from Salem, Oregon.
Are you a real sergeant of something?
Retired Army sergeant, and I spent 15 years in the military police and 3 years as a civilian.
And you still go around as a sergeant in civilian life. That's okay. Okay, go ahead, Sergeant.
Not
along with Sergeant Pepper.
Yes.
Pretty name. I just use that as a nickname online.
Okay.
This whole Minnesota shooting thing, okay? The cops already had him pulled over. They already had him out of the car, which means they already had him identified. Him going back for insurance or registration, they don't care about that at that point. He's going to jail.
Yeah, they have a warrant. They want to at this point, because they knew he had an outstanding warrant, which the media don't want to tell us what the warrant was for, which means it was a felony warrant. they're not going to go for They're not going to go for his proof of insurance until they got him in cuffs.
And if he's getting back into the car, most likely keys are in the ignition, even if he's not getting a gun or a knife. That's a 2,500-pound weapon he's getting into.
Yeah, and he even after he was shot, he sped off and crashed into some local people. Didn't kill him, luckily.
It's very frustrating because we're operating with a couple of major facts missing, and the questions unanswered.
Yeah, we know enough at this point.
I mean, it seems to me everything that I'm conjuring up in my imagination involves the cop.
Steve, you've been hanging around with your liberal New York high school friends too much. Yeah, you're getting this is unlike this is. Yeah, that liberalism is contagious. I've never heard you talk this way about one of these incidents in all the years I've known you. Never.
Article that reader or that listener sent in to you about Nashville, that video of the dash cam is all over the internet.
Yeah.
Watch that video. And
what is it? What do you say? Well, you can shed some light here.
No, this isn't the Minneapolis. This is the one in the New York Post I was reading where they both got shot. We haven't seen the. Listen, if this was a warrant that was for some minor, like he didn't show up in traffic court, the media would have that as the lead. He was shot for unpaid parking tickets. This was a felony warrant. The cops at this point are trying to cuff him, and that's when he dove back. When somebody has a warrant, their freedom is gone, and depending on that warrant, it could be a long time, and that's a scary time for a cop. And he was avoiding being arrested by jumping back in the car. He wasn't reaching in there for his ID. They already knew who he was, like this caller said. That's how they knew he had the warrant.
Exactly.
All right. Okay, Sergeant. Thanks for the call. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
This is Wayne.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I'm listening to you guys. All happy, right? You're able to kill another Negro, yeah? You guys are happy. Whenever it was a white folks, police should not be shooting. How come whenever they do mass shooting, those white guys said, our white girls can always just go back in their vehicle, walk or drive around, and the police.
Excuse me. There was a mass. This is Wayne. Wayne, there was a mass shooting in Colorado a couple weeks ago. It was a Muslim man. They're not always white, but I'm going to ask you I asked a question. A caller. Excuse me, Wayne. I'm going to do something. Wayne, calm down. I want to ask you a question. If we celebrate such things, why have you not heard Steve and you've not heard me once defend Derek Chauvin in the George Floyd case? If we're so gleeful at such incidents,
because it was so blatant, but.
Oh.
Yeah, sometimes I hear you supporting that murderer, but don't come up.
I've never supported Derek Chauvin. Steve hasn't supported Derek Chauvin either.
You were trying to swing on.
No, not this show.
And Chauvin.
Not this show. No, not on this program. You're wrong. You are absolutely incorrect.
You did. You guys tried to swing on both sides of the.
No.
Chauvin.
Zimmerman is different. This is not George Zimmerman. No, we're not talking about Zimmerman. We're talking about Chauvin.
You white folks always have trigger finger. You're always shooting.
Yeah, and we always defend it, except when we don't, and when we don't, that doesn't matter.
Talk about what happened to that army officer in Virginia. Somehow you don't bring it up this morning.
Well, I don't know about the army officer in Virginia, but the lead story and most of the news outlets this morning is this incident in Minneapolis. By the way.
But I'm interested in this Virginia thing. Tell me about it.
And they're talking about that Butterbar, that second lieutenant in Virginia. What has that been to him? With that police press in handcuffing and did all those stuff, but you're not talking about it.
Well, we're not familiar with the story. We're not familiar with the story.
So many shootings to choose from.
Because white folks always have them.
White folks. Yeah. Yeah. Do you let me ask you this, Wayne, do you oh my goodness. This is what, can you imagine pulling this guy over? Will you condemn the violence in Minneapolis yesterday? I didn't. Will you condemn the violence in Minnesota?
The rest of the story. We didn't get the rest of the.
Yeah, I don't need any more of the story. Listen, Wayne, we don't need more of the story to know that looting of private businesses is wrong.
You want to bet your lifesaver? You want to bet story?
No. We don't. We're not talking about the shooting incident. We're talking about the looting of the store, like they hit a GameStop and they're burning. Do you condemn the looting of the private businesses that employ the local community in Minneapolis yesterday?
It's 12 o'clock. Went to the store, get his liquor and police.
That's a no. He won't condemn the violence. He won't condemn the violence.
Go with black folks, and you know it.
Okay. All right. He won't condemn the violence, Steve. He won't condemn the violence of the private businesses are not the cops. I mean, my goodness, these private businesses employ these people.
Wayne probably considers the looting that went on part of the reparation.
Yeah. Do you think if Wayne was pulled over by a police officer this morning that he would talk that way to the cop?
No.
Oh, really? You think he'd be respectful?
No, I don't know. I don't think he'd shoot his mouth off like that. I mean, Wayne. We've listened to Wayne rant on and on and on for years here on this.
Yeah, but he was very unhinged today. I've never heard him like that.
Yeah, but I think he's got more sense than to do that in front of a police officer.
I don't know.
Maybe not. I mean, he survived, so.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, listen, we're going to take our first break of the third hour. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Do you think you've come in contact with someone who has coronavirus? Steve Kane's wife Lori did, and she went to any lab test now of Coral Springs to find out if she has coronavirus.
So I came into contact with somebody who tested positive for COVID, and I was scared, and I needed results right away, so I went to any lab test now in Coral Springs. It was great. I didn't want to have to stay in line for 2 hours and have a swab stuck down my nose into my brain. It was very pleasant. I made an appointment. They got me in within the hour. I was out of there within 20 minutes. Thank goodness the test was negative, and I can go back to work tomorrow. They also tested me for the antibodies, and I haven't been exposed. So do what I did. Go over to any lab test now of Coral Springs. They give great rates for Steve Kane listeners, and tell them we sent you.
It's worth 15 minutes of your time to have peace of mind and know that you and your family are safe. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. You can call them at 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio. Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beat. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out.
Steve Kane Show.
Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone at 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
This is Dr. Mitchell Matez of the BioStation West Delray.
Steve Kane Show.
Have you tried and tried to effectively lose weight but failed? Have you worked your tail off trying to build muscle with no result? At the BioStation West Delray, we offer all of the latest treatment modalities, including growth factor and peptide therapies to help promote weight loss, muscle recovery, support cognitive function, improve libido, and more. If you want to get to the root cause of the problem, our medical team can do the job. Call the BioStation West Delray at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
All right, we are back with more information on Minneapolis. Okay, Steve, we got some more info here. If you're on hold, stand by. This is not the new information about the incident, but this is new too. The National Guard have been activated in Minneapolis. That's how bad it is. And the police said this. This is an updated statement from the police. Officers stopped the individual shortly before 2 p.m. Sunday. After determining the driver had an outstanding warrant, police tried to arrest him. But the driver re-entered the vehicle and drove away. This is the police statement. An officer fired at the vehicle, striking the driver. The vehicle traveled several blocks before crashing into another vehicle. So they were. They shot. We don't know where the bullet hit him. He shot at the car. No, the
Guys running away from.
No, Steve. They were trying to arrest him. Which means cuff him. He resisted, jumped back in his vehicle, and sped off. He was in the car.
Hold on. If he sped off.
And the cop fired at the car.
He sped in the opposite direction from which.
Probably.
Guy was running.
Yeah. He wasn't running, Steve. He wasn't running. He was driving. He was in a car. He wasn't on foot. He jumped. They were trying to arrest him, so there had to be a struggle. No. We don't. He wasn't running. They were trying to. Yes. Yeah.
You're playing with words.
Well, no. They were trying to cuff him. He resisted arrest, jumped in the car.
The opposite direction.
No, he was speeding away, not running. He was speeding away.
From the cop?
In a weapon. The weapon being the vehicle. He was speeding away in a deadly weapon, a vehicle. After resisting arrest, there had to be a struggle with cops. They were trying to cuff him, and the cop fired at the car, and the bullet struck him. So the guy's a good shot because there were two people in the car, and he hit the bad guy. All right, let's go to the phones. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Wheezy.
Oh, hey, Wheezy. Good morning.
Please, what's up?
Good morning. Now, I want to be able to give my opinion before he starts this Abbott and Costello routine with me. So, I'm going to say this.
You mean ask you a question? Is that what you're...
No, I was listening to the program. I heard him say that he has never said anything about Chavez. Now, I called...
That's not what I said.
He told me that, how you going to say what's the end of the trial going to be, that I'm trying to lynch this cop? I need to know all the facts.
No, first of all, you're misquoting me, Wheezy. I didn't say that I've never mentioned Derek Chauvin. I said I've never defended Derek Chauvin.
Okay, now let me finish this part. On your podcast, you and your wife were sitting there saying he died from an overdose, that he did not...
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Yes, you did.
I said they had a witness who testified to that.
No, this was when me and you had this thing when you...
And by the way, Derek Chauvin is on trial in America, and in a court of law, everyone is presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law.
This guy, except for this guy, because you already got him convicted, and you just found out that he got shot as he was driving...
Oh, no, after he resisted arrest and jumped back in the vehicle.
No. You said that he shot him, and then he got back in the car, and he was trying to get a gun, so he was...
Well, he could have been. He was trying to speed away. He was...
You said you made everybody believe that he was getting back in the car and he was going to shoot the cop. Now you see that he was driving away.
Well, yeah.
And you're trying to...
No, we don't know what part of his body was hit by the bullet.
Which part? You think the front of him got hit when he was shooting from...
It could have been... The cop could have been... Excuse me. The cop... Very funny. The cop... Because the cop could have been right next to him when he jumped in the car and shot him in the arm.
Oh, but now, see what I'm saying? How you're defending the situation when you don't know all the evidence, and you told me that we shouldn't do that because that's trying to lynch.
No. There's a difference, and when you're talking about Derek Chauvin, there's a few things with that. There's a criminal trial going on in a court of law, okay? And we didn't know, and I've told you many times about this. I'm not defending that cop. That guy on C-SPAN was trying to get me to defend Derek Chauvin. That video is disturbing. I compare it to those ISIS videos when they cut people's heads off. It's a disturbing video. I've never defended Derek Chauvin. But I did say, no, that's not true. But what I did say was this, is that there's not a lot of information has come out about this case, and as the case goes on, we're going to learn more. And if the information benefited the George Floyd murder position, this stuff would have leaked out. And what happened? George Floyd's best friend, who was with him,
all morning long, you have been defending this situation
in Minneapolis. Yeah. Well, they're two different situations. They're two different situations.
And guilt, listen to this. I believe he was guilty for getting in that car because he shouldn't have did it. But you already had him wrong for everything when he was shot.
Oh, everything he did was wrong. Everything he did was wrong.
You're not driving with your butt.
Everything he did was wrong. You don't resist arrest and jump back into your car when they're trying to cuff you.
You had the guy convicted already from your story this morning.
Well, that's not a court proceeding. Derek Chauvin is. And in the Chauvin trial, hold on, something happened last week in the Chauvin trial which was devastating for the prosecution. George Floyd's best friend, who was with him at the time, has refused to testify, says if they compel him to testify, he will take the Fifth Amendment in the trial. Well, hold on. We know that he sold him the drugs. He gave George Floyd the counterfeit 20, and so I guess it was changed for the drugs he sold him, and he gave George Floyd the drugs that were in his system when he died. So the reason that his best friend wouldn't testify is because he's afraid they'll charge him with a murder charge for giving him the drugs. So that's
makes me upset about things.
What, the truth?
To figure out how your eyes would think that somebody that kneels on your neck for 10 minutes, that you can breathe so well that you would think that
there was video from
your wife said
there was a video
like that.
There was a video from another angle that showed that Derek Chauvin's knee was on the shoulder blade of George Floyd.
It doesn't.
Well, that's up for the jury to decide.
No. The knee was on the shoulder when he moved over a little bit to let the hand there to get his pulse.
Well, the jury will decide. The jury will decide. The jury will decide.
Hey, thank you for actually letting me speak today. This is a miracle.
Well, Weezy, let me ask you a question before you go. Is there any chance that maybe you'll change your mind as more evidence comes out here?
I can't change my mind because I saw 3 men sitting on a person with a man with his knee on...
Well, you must be talking about something else because there was... Derek Chauvin was the only guy on George Floyd. The other two were not on George Floyd. They were standing nearby.
On his feet wasn't on him, but the other guy in the middle was on his back. He moved.
He moved. Yeah. Yes.
Ambulance got there.
The one with the knee on the neck, there was only one with the knee near the neck, and that was Chauvin.
His feet asked to put him on.
But here's the thing, Wheezy. Here's the thing, Wheezy. I would believe that Chauvin is probably very much responsible for the death of George Floyd. Okay? But every cop... But excuse me, every cop is not Derek Chauvin, just like every black man is an O.J. Simpson. So you can't judge every police officer based on Derek Chauvin or the L.A. cops from Rodney King. And that's what you're doing. This guy in Minneapolis yesterday...
Oh, I'm not basing it off of none of them other trials.
But this case yesterday, what do you have to say... No, excuse me. You listen to me. What is your opinion on the Black Lives Matter leader owning 7 mansions around the world?
What do I got to do with that? I don't know anything about that, so I can...
Oh, yeah, how convenient. How convenient. How convenient. Yeah, okay, I'm going to ask you what I asked Wayne. Do you condemn the violence and the looting in Minneapolis on these businesses last night?
Yes, I do condemn it.
Well, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about these black-owned businesses that were looted last night?
You don't take things that don't belong to you.
Well, what are you going to do about it? What are you and your community going to do about the looting of these black businesses?
Do about it.
Well, it's not my community that's doing it.
Not my community?
Sure, the Black Lives Matter community. You agree with Black Lives Matter?
So you're going to compare me because I'm black. I'm supposed to stop that.
Well. No, excuse me. That was an organized event in Minneapolis yesterday that led to that looting, just like in Ferguson.
I didn't know.
Well, I know you like to have your head in the sand when it's inconvenient for your narrative.
Didn't watch. I was like Richie. I didn't see the situation till...
Oh, okay, so your opinion... Okay, so I understand. So your opinion isn't... Okay, so your opinion on this incident in Minneapolis is an uninformed opinion. You just know that a cop... Well, shouldn't you be informed before you give an opinion? Oh no, you've had all kinds of opinions. Well, if you're basing your opinion on what I said, you should be on my team. All right, listen, Weezy, we got to run for our bottom of the hour break. 33 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian, Steve Kane here. We will break and be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Someone who has coronavirus? Steve Kane's wife Lori did, and she went to any lab test now with Coral Springs to
Steve Kane Show.
if she has coronavirus.
So I came
Hold
into
on.
contact with somebody who tested positive for COVID, and I was scared, and I needed results right away, so I went to any lab test now in Coral Springs. It was great. I didn't want to have to stay in line for 2 hours and have a swab stuck down my nose into my brain. It was very pleasant. I made an appointment. They got me in within the hour. I was out of there within 20 minutes. Thank goodness the test was negative, and I can go back to work tomorrow. They also tested me for the antibodies, and I haven't been exposed. So do what I did. Go over to any lab test now at Coral Springs. They give great rates for Steve Kane listeners, and tell them we sent you.
It's worth 15 minutes of your time to have peace of mind.
Make sure, guys, if you're new here, that you subscribe and subscribe on all your accounts. Like the video and share the video on your social media too. All that helps a lot.
954-906-5983. Any lab test now with Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza, where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio. Brian Craig here. I've been telling you for years how great MyPillow products are. But don't just take my word for it. This is one of our listeners, Todd. He bought the MyPillow mattress topper, and he called us live on the radio.
Thank you, Jim Mac Soundtracks. Get all your friends to sub, too.
Yeah, I'm calling you testimonial about my MyPillow topper.
You ordered the MyPillow, the mattress topper?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Well, I was thinking about buying a new mattress. My old mattress was getting old, so my wife's like, why don't you try that pillow, that mattress top? I went on, I used your promo code Kane. I got a great price. Got it home, and I've been using it for the last 3 nights. It's fantastic.
Oh, that's awesome.
It feels like a whole new mattress.
I talked to other listeners with the MyPillow mattress topper, and they come in all sizes. The mattress companies have turned into con artists. When I was a kid, mattresses were two-sided. You'd have the mattress, then after a while, you'd flip it over. Now you can't flip mattresses anymore. They don't make them that way anymore because people weren't buying mattresses enough. So the mattress company stopped making two-sided mattresses. And mattresses are expensive. I've had to buy a new mattress, and mattresses can cost well over, just for a regular normal mattress, over $1,000. So that MyPillow mattress topper is a big savings. It saves you from buying a new mattress and turn your whole bed into a MyPillow.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I really love it. I sleep really good.
Well, that's great. Well, I appreciate that. You guys out there, remember, promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. Now, when you use the promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com, save 30% off your MyPillow mattress topper. And receive 2 free MyPillows, but you got to use the promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper. Turn your old mattress into a big MyPillow mattress. Promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian Craig, along with Steve Kane. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. All right, let's go back to the phones. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Hello?
Yeah, can you turn off the audio of whatever you have on in the background, please?
Yes,
Turn it down.
Yeah, turn it down. Turn it down, just like the other person in the car just told you to do, yes. Turn it down. If that's a police radio, if it's us, I don't know. Turn it down. All right, what's on your mind? What's your name?
David Needham. I'm going to have you ask those guys if they know where the money's going that gets sent to Black Lives.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a story came out over the weekend that the founder of Black Lives Matter owns 7 very pricey homes all over America.
Yes, I understand that. But there's also money is going to certain politicians that are pushing the Black Lives Matter into.
Well, okay. What you're talking about, and this is true, this story actually came out several years ago. George Soros started backing candidates that are local county prosecutors and things like this. So we have a lot of state's attorneys and at the local level that are Soros-backed and funded and are Black Lives Matter or Black Lives Matter supporters that are in law enforcement positions at the local level now. Yeah, absolutely.
None of that money is going to the communities to help the community.
Well, Black Lives Matter is a very interesting organization. It's an organization without an official organization. You know what I mean? All we know is that the founder who founded it, apparently through coming up with the hashtag, is worth millions of dollars now, and they weren't before. Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's appropriate to call them houses. I think mansion is probably more appropriate based on some of the things. Yeah, it's a corrupt organization, and the funds are obviously not going to anything good. Yeah. All right, take care. Yeah, take care. Appreciate the call. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Remo, Cincinnati.
Hey, Remo. What's up?
Hey, wanted to say hey and talking about this morning with Minneapolis. I've been there to Brooklyn Center, Brooklyn Park. Point is, the cops have to deal with the surroundings. That is a very scary area, and you could see by last night how quickly the crowd amassed. Those cops have no choice. They have to be defensive. They can't just sit there and be everybody's friend.
Well, this police officer, hold on a second. This police officer in the shooting wasn't being, this guy, you gotta keep, he had a guy pulled over on an outstanding warrant, which means he's going to jail. According to the police, he's trying to arrest him. He resisted arrest, jumped back in his car, and tried to escape. You know, I think that's not. Well, I'm not talking to just you. We have tens of thousands of people listening. I'm talking to the audience. And, this is, and you've got a fleeing suspect like that. The media, if they would tell us what the warrant was for, if the warrant was for unpaid traffic tickets, I'll reflect a little bit. But it sounds to me like it was a felony warrant.
And there's reasons why they're hiding it, just like you're saying. Whether they're hiding it or neglecting to say because of the other importances, who knows? I'm just saying that they have to react the way they react in places like this, especially in today's climate. people have learned that if you resist and get loud about it, you'll be okay.
Really, if you were a white police officer, would you be stopping black people on minor traffic violations today? I wouldn't be. I would be very reluctant.
That's a heck of a hypothetical because I could never see myself even being a white, black, green, or blue police officer in this climate. They don't get the respect they need to do.
And at any moment in time, they could find themselves not just losing their job, but losing their freedom.
Last night with
yeah.
You see it every time with the people yelling in those cops' faces.
I mean, think about it, and look at the looting. What does looting a GameStop with all the video games inside have to do with any of this?
Looting fast. It wasn't just one or two people. They had 100 people jumping the curb to get into that window. The first time I saw it last night on, I think it was PC Network or whatever.
Yeah.
I have coverage from streamers, and it's so scary.
It is.
That is now the go-to action.
Well, part of the problem is the Chauvin trial is taking place, and the prosecution has not. It hasn't been going well, and they have people ready to do something with the Chauvin verdict, and so the city's already hot. If you're in Minneapolis, if you're in Minneapolis and you can, I'd get the hell out of there until long after the Chauvin trial.
Contrast. People were ready with the OJ trial, but they were sitting on the side.
Yeah, but they got the right verdict. They got the right verdict.
Right now, they're reacting before verdict. How can people get a fair trial when jurors, they know what's going on?
See, it used to be during OJ, we used to be on jury watch when they were. Now we're on riot watch.
TV.
Yeah.
I wanted to see it to see what happened.
The prosecution's listen. Regardless of whether or not Chauvin's guilty, the prosecution case, you would think it was the defense case this past week. They've had a disastrous week, and they're about to rest the prosecution.
It's coming out. Because the truth is coming out. On another note, I needed to ask, what happens with all this money for these mansions? Who's claiming the taxes? Who's paying the tax?
Well, I don't know. Are you talking about the Black Lives Matter mansions? I don't know. All right, hey, appreciate the call. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Hey, Brian, how you doing?
Hey, Al.
Hey, I had a question. I was reading something the other day, and I guess he might be friends with Donald Trump. You ever heard of well, you probably heard of the tech billionaire Larry Ellison, I guess his last name is? What's that company, Oracle? Or such with Oracle?
Oracle? Yeah.
I heard he bought a $80 million mansion in Palm Beach. I don't know how far he is from Trump, but I wonder if he'll be involved maybe with it.
I don't know. Do you know who joined Mar-A-Lago? It got reported last week. This was shocking to me, Steve. Sylvester Stallone just joined Mar-A-Lago. Just came out. Yeah, Sylvester Stallone has a mansion up in Palm Beach, but joining Mar-A-Lago is, I thought that made a statement.
Did he have two, or is that the one that he bought? I guess he never put. I heard weeks ago that he moved to Palm Beach and he used to live in Miami or something many years ago, and he got rid of one of his mansions in California. Probably got sick of California, but
probably sick of the California taxes. Sylvester Stallone. Yeah, you know, Sylvester Stallone's going through this weird thing. I follow. He's got a YouTube channel, and he did a charity auction recently that was so strange. I saw this on his YouTube channel. He auctioned off all of his watches. He has like a watch collection. He bought a watch like after every movie he was ever in. And he auctioned off his costumes from all the movies. Like his Rocky shorts, his Judge Dredd uniform, his Demolition Man outfit. It was his cliffhanger shirt and everything. It was very strange. Sylvester Stallone's, and then he joined Mar-A-Lago. I don't think he was selling all this stuff so he could join Mar-A-Lago. I think he's already got the money, but he's going. You don't join Mar-A-Lago right now if you're not in support of Donald Trump, because everyone he's got to be a Trump guy. Sylvester Stallone. He wouldn't join Mar-A-Lago. There's other places to join up there. All right, Al, take care. All right, well, listen, we'll take our last break of the day and come back with the first gold report of the week. I'm Brian, Steve Kane here. Our number toll free 1-888-GO-KANE 1. 888-465-2631. We'll be back right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Hey guys, Brian Craig here. Here on the Steve Kane Show, we love hearing from our listeners talk about their great experiences with our sponsors. Here's Rebecca talking about the MyPillow.
Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name?
Rebecca.
Hey, Rebecca.
Good morning. I just wanted to know, Steve and Brian,
Hey.
I've been listening to you. I'm 57 years old. I've been listening to you since I'm 21.
Wow.
So you know, and this is my first time calling. I ordered my pillow, and let me tell you, I thought it was just a, marketing tool saying that you sleep better at night. Oh my God. I'm here to attest that it is the truth. I sleep so much better. I can't even tell you. So I want everyone out there to believe that when people say you sleep better, you really do. And I've been having a lot of issues at night, and I've bought expensive pillows and, cheap pillows, and this has really made a difference.
Listen to Rebecca. Go to MyPillow.com and use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, and have the best night's sleep you've ever had with your MyPillow or one of the other great products that you'll find there. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
And now it is time for the Gold Report. For many people, the high point of the Steve Kane Show each day. We are blessed to have William Youngerman of William Youngerman Inc. deliver the Gold Report, telling us where the precious metals, all of them, whether it's gold, silver, or platinum, you name it, and William Youngerman has it. Let's find out how things are doing this morning. William, how are you?
Great, Steve. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good. Precious metals are holding their own for another week. It seems like last week gold closed out the week at $1,744.20. That was down $11.60 on Friday, but well above the 1,700 support level, and the trading range pretty much remaining in that 1,725 to 1,750 throughout the week. Silver closed down 19 cents on Friday at $25.25, finding good support around that $25 number as we've seen for quite a while now. The consolidation of these metals is building some real strength for the metals, and I think that will actually cause them, when they do break out, to be a big move. Platinum, $11.95 on the close Friday, down $30, and palladium was up $4 at $2,550. This morning, the metals down a little bit on gold, $17.42. That's down $2.20. Silver down 10 cents at $25.15 the ounce. Platinum down $15 at $11.80, and palladium unchanged at $2,550 the ounce. Bitcoin $60,546 this morning. Pretty much where we're at right now, Steve.
Well, it sounds like a good time to stop by William Youngerman. If you have any questions, I got to tell you, William knows more about precious metals than anyone I've ever met. He's been advising clients on trends and movements in the gold market for over 50 years, and he is always there with special attention for Steve Kane listeners.
Absolutely. I'm always telling people where to go, but right now I'll tell them where William Youngerman's located. William Youngerman is located right here in Boca Raton. The address, 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca. That's the first floor, the Bank of America building. just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. You can find them online at williamyoungerman.com and give them a call. They open weekdays at 10, 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010. All right, well, we'll talk to you tomorrow, William Youngerman. All right, take care, take care. You know, Steve, the media are so... I'm reading this story about this Minneapolis case, and they're so desperate for attention because the news has been so rough so far as, you know, since Trump left office. The news media are desperate for stories that people care about. And I got some information. Listen to this headline. This is in the Daily Mail. Black Minneapolis man, 20, is shot dead by cop after being pulled over for having an air freshener hanging from his mirror just 10 miles from where George Floyd was killed. National Guard deployed as looting and rioting break out. So now they're saying that he was pulled over for having an air freshener that he was hanging from his window. That story, by the way, that's what the mother says. Okay, we don't know what the truth is, but we, you know, and by the way, this city just paid tens of millions of dollars to George Floyd's family, right? So here's what we got. Officers pull him over for a traffic violation, which they have not said what it is. The mom says it's an air freshener, and found that he had an outstanding warrant.
What the mother says because she's black, or I don't know.
Steve, are you sure you're not Cooper City?
Says that's what the mother says. Well,
I got to tell you, Tom Laporta needs to get, you know, that black mold, I think, turns people liberal over there that you've been breathing over in your house. No, of course not, Steve. But we got some information here. I'll tell you what happened, okay? It says here, officers pulled him over for a traffic violation, determined that he had an outstanding warrant. The officer, this is according to the police, officers tried to arrest him. He resisted and re-entered the vehicle. One officer discharged their firearm, striking him while the vehicle continued to travel for several blocks before crashing into another car. He died while inside the vehicle. His mother, Katie, says her son called her while being pulled over to get insurance information because the vehicle had just been given to him. The mother says her son told her on the phone at this time that he was pulled over for having an air freshener hanging from the rear view mirror, which is illegal in Minnesota. So you got a guy on an outstanding warrant driving around with no insurance. This is not rocket science here.
The first degree?
According to the mother. I mean, you know, and she says that's what he told her. He didn't say, "Mom, I got a warrant out. I'm nervous."
Then
he said he called his mom, I guess. He called his mom, I guess, when the blue lights came on behind him, and said they're pulling me over for having an air freshener. How the hell would he know that? The cops haven't even gotten to him yet. How would he know why they were pulling him over? Maybe they ran the plate and knew it was him, and he had a warrant.
Fun.
That's not what happened. I got to get to the root cause of this anti-cop streak that you got today.
Maybe it's just this case.
Maybe it's just me. Anything is possible. Do you really... how would he know he was being pulled over for having an air freshener hanging from his mirror when the cops had not yet gotten up to him to tell him why he was being pulled over?
Talk to his mother, because that's what the evidence we're going from here.
Would he tell his mom the truth? I don't think he would tell his moms the truth. And another thing here, Steve. Probably what happened. The police ran the plate and then the warrant came up. That's what probably happened there. They ran the plate and the warrant came up. They haven't told us yet. I wish they would, but they haven't told us yet. Yeah, but they need to tell us before, showtime. Don't they understand we have a schedule here? Before 6 a.m. Yeah, well, that's too late. It's already burned. It's already been burning last night. I mean, some of the violence going on last night was outrageous. Oh, look who we have on the line, Richard Pearl, whose show, Richard Pearl on Politics, follows the Steve Kane Show weekdays at 9 a.m. on this radio station. Hey, Richard Pearl.
Good morning to both of you. I hope you, Brian, you got your book from my friend, one on
Yes.
thoughts. So, a couple things. We'll have a very big show tomorrow. I was going to do it today, but tomorrow. United States in 1970, West, I should say. And so all the things that are happening. Indoctrination that's been going on. Some of it's designed to take 15 to 20 years, and some of it is designed to take a very...
It sounds like there was a communist infiltration of our country, is what you're talking about, with a long-term goal.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
And it's quite disturbing because he lays it out, including with the professors, and he lays this out in 1984, which is 37 years ago, and you can see it taking its full impact on us. And so I'm going to discuss that in detail tomorrow. I was going to do it today, but I got other stuff that I'd rather cover and do a better show on that tomorrow. Also, I just want to say very quickly, folic acid, and not regular folic. They should take methylfolate, it's the active form. If they just did that, and they took DHA, they would improve their brain activity dramatically.
Well, when you say brain activity, what do you mean? Memory? What do you mean?
Memory, well, memory for sure, short-term, long-term, but their ability to take abstract thought and put it together would have a big...
Oh, thinking with clarity is restored, is what you're talking about, where you can think logically and your comprehension, all these things, cognitive ability. Yeah, but don't give it to them. Don't give it to them. We don't want Democrats to wake. Well, I guess if they wake up, they'll become Republicans. So yes, Democrats too.
Quickly, I just want to say, one of the things that this KGB agent pointed out is that there's an effort, it's a process where they essentially get people to not care about facts. So you can show them facts in all ways, video or in person or documents. It makes no difference to them. And we've seen this with the left. When you try to show somebody or even convince somebody that their position doesn't make sense or that there's evidence against their position, they don't care.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of the long-term indoctrination that was...
Well, listen, time is short, so don't touch that radio dial. Richard Pearl's show, Richard Pearl on Politics, immediately follows the Steve Kane Show every weekday at 9 a.m. on this radio station. His store, Simply Natural, is in the city of Sunrise, just north of Sunset Strip on the east side of University. Open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. till 9. And if you have questions about any of these great supplements Richard Pearl talks about, give him a call at the store if you can't make it in. 954-741-4045. All right, have a great show. Break a leg, Richard Pearl. We'll talk tomorrow. And Steve, you want to sign us off?
Morning, 6 a.m. Be sure to join us. And on behalf of Tyler Kane, our technical director, I am Steve Kane. You know Brian, my left and right hand, both at the same time. See you tomorrow. God bless America.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
All right, guys. Hey, listen, if you're new here, make sure that you subscribe, all right? And everybody that is subscribed, click the notification bell if you don't mind. Click the notification bell and like the video. Liking the video helps so much. You have no idea, because when you like the video, and by the way, like all my videos every day, when you like the video, the YouTube algorithm starts to recommend the video more to other people that are interested in this type of content that I give you guys here on YouTube. And that helps a lot. That's how we reach new people. That's right, Rachel. That's right. Subscribe. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going somewhere today. I can't take you guys to where I'm going, unfortunately. But I'm going to my local Second Amendment store is where I'm going when I get off the... They open at 10, so I guess in an hour. But it takes about a half an hour to get to the one I'm going to. And just take a look around. Also, I was telling everybody earlier, and there's a new app that I have. It's called Marco Polo. It's completely free, and you can download this app. It's a free app. There's a paid version, but you don't need the paid version. I have the free version myself. It's called Marco Polo, and it's a cool little social media app. And you can leave audio or video messages there. And I've been doing it. We have a group. It's Brian Craig Fans, 3 words. Brian Craig Fans. Marco Polo's the app. And you can comment. You can leave audio or video messages. Comment on the news of the day. Comment on other messages people have left in the community. It's a really cool group. And my wife's on it. I'm on it. We have a few people that have joined up. It's completely free, and it's kind of cool because we get to put a face and a voice to a lot of you guys in the chat room. Some of the YouTube chat room people are in there, and you get to, it's almost like having your own YouTube channel. It's Marco Polo, free app, Brian Craig Fans. I didn't come up with that name, my wife did, but she's my biggest fan. But Brian Craig Fans is the name of the group. Almost like Facebook Messenger. Yeah, it's video. And I put videos up there. My wife puts videos up there. People in the group post videos, and we comment on each other's videos. And and it's a free speech zone, if you get my drift. So you don't have to limit your topics so much in the Marco Polo group. It works for me, Marilyn. You must be doing something wrong. Yeah. Well, thank you, Rachel. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Oh, boy, I tell you. Just shutting down the studio. I'm the only one that uses this studio during the week. It's used by one person on the weekends, on Sundays, but I'm the only one that uses it during the week. But I put everything away. Hey, what's up? We're still on the chat. You can talk. We're still on the video. Oh, Steve taking a liberal position on the cops? Wow. I guess his kids have started the Cooper City Black Lives Matter. Oh my God. I know. I've never heard Steve liberal with the police before. I know.
He just didn't get a grasp of the facts.
He's just giving me a hard time. Yeah.
I hope it's just show.
Yeah, Brian Craig Fans. Yes. Well, I want to unplug the mic so because I use this clip-on mic, and I'll take you guys out with me. It's raining. It's not too sunny out. Just give me a second. If the audio goes out, it'll come right back. Here we go. It won't sound as good because I'm taking off my mic. I leave this mic here at the radio station. Phone down for a second. Be right back. All right. Hey guys, all right, now we're leaving. Okay, got everything shut down. I'll make sure I locked my filing cabinet. I know, this chair, everyone's making fun of this chair. They were getting ready to throw this chair out here at the radio station, and I sat down in it. It looks like crap, but it is so comfortable, this chair. I don't care what it looks like. fine to me. It's the perfect height, too. You want behind the scenes? Here's the garbage can. There we go. That's behind the scenes. Mark Levin ever show you his garbage can? I don't think so. First floor. It's kind of rainy here. Yeah, Starbucks has the strongest coffee I can get at 5 a.m. I mean, everything is closed at 5 a.m. here in this area. I cannot get coffee anywhere else. You're not going to believe... I got to go back up. I forgot something. I got to go back up. I forgot something. I hate when that happens. It is a nice fancy elevator, isn't it? We're on the top floor. It's not as strong as that coffee I get in the morning is has 4 shots of espresso in it. No, I don't like riding the elevator, actually. That's our station logo. Hey, Chris. No, I didn't bring my MyPillow today. MyPillow just sent me a new commercial with Mike Lindell for the slippers, so we'll hear that on the radio tomorrow. They just emailed it to me. Mike, you know, if the worst thing you guys got on me is I drink Starbucks, I think I'm doing all right, okay? I drink Starbucks and they act like I'm Mitt Romney or Liz Cheney or something. The Starbucks, okay. I'm always defending I must be a pretty clean Marine if all you guys can give me a hard time about is my Starbucks. I get what I order at Starbucks every day. I order the same thing. A venti, which is the large. Venti, hot blonde Americano with extra cream. It's the largest one they got. It has 4 shots of espresso in it. And I get it at 5 a.m. to wake me up in the morning. There's nowhere else in this town that you can get espresso coffee like that in the mornings. And so far as the price... Because people ask me about this all. Oh, it's $10 a cup. It's $3.70 for 4 shots of espresso. $3.70, and they give you Starbucks rewards. Like today, I didn't even pay for my coffee. It was free because I have my Starbucks points, and I got a whole bunch of points too. So I'll get another free cup later this week. Now, I don't like the lattes. The lattes don't have as much caffeine in them. But, blonde has the highest caffeine content, and it's 4 shots of espresso in it. That's why I get it. I cannot get coffee that is that strong in the morning. I have an espresso that my wife got me for my birthday last year, and I do use it sometimes. But Florida... there's no place around where I can get coffee like that at that hour of the morning. If I could, and it was on my way, I'd go there. One too many? Nah. No. I would not say. Starbucks supports... Well, I don't support plain. Oh, my Bluetooth just picked up. So I'm going to sign off anyway because I got to run. But hey, guys, make sure you're subscribed. Like the video.